down. You said that Kerrigan is somebody who will let this happen. I always think about playing Vertigo versus Bad News Eagles back at the IEM Rio Major, where they bombed out because of this kind of a decision.
But think about versus Spirit on Vertigo.
Here's the thing.
Two sides.
Two things can be entertaining to watch. Greatness, witnessing greatness, very entertaining to watch. Watching a train wreck, also very entertaining.
And we always remember
You're twisted, Dust.
We remember the train wrecks. We remember the great stuff as well. I mean, that's the best part about FaZe.
I just hope they can put it together today on Anubis, because like you said, we haven't seen Twist in it. Maui's sake, you said that maybe not even Jacob has played in a FaZe jersey on this map.
One of Kerrigan's very few aces in his career was on Anubis.
Whoa.
What if? I wouldn't have seen it. Here we go, back into the game. We've got a new game, folks. Thank you, Desk, by the way. Your insight's always valuable. And yeah, Mo, we've got a shake-up here for the 1-0 pool of Falcons versus FaZe Clan. And like they said, you know, Falcons should have something on this map. It felt like an inevitability that somebody would take them up on it. Did they ever think it would be FaZe, though? That's the question. Jacob can't do anything about Falcons running rampant into this A site. No kills here. Bomb's going to go down in a 5 versus 5, and FaZe have been out-positioned for the pistol. But the retake's on. This is a retake that features no kit and a flashbang here on Kerrigan. You know that Falcons have taken deep positions with how free this bomb site was. They try to float around on the bricks. Kicksand can't get kills going, and now Falcons facing the 3 versus 5. It's all whittled down to kyousuke, who gets his headshot to Frozen. A clutch for Twist's early days. Bomb planted on the opposite side of Cake, and no, he's gonna have to push the issue, but this is no kit, and now he's got him off the defuse. kyousuke with a pistol round clutch. Falcons take their first.
That's absolute perfection from him. Some great trades from that second line of defense there in the post plant for Falcons. And I'd actually like to say, sneakily, this is kind of like our last matchup. You know, we talk about if Na'Vi get into playoffs, they'll play better. Same thing for FaZe. You know, maybe it won't be a great final. It'll definitely be a great quarter. It'll definitely be a great semi.
Sure.
For Falcons, they are the team that we wonder, you know, they're not the ones who make major finals, right? That's the problem for them. Up until that point, they're studs. So in this match right now, you got to say they're heavily favored. But we'll see.
Obviously back at the table with their full 5. I also think this game has the makings of something a little more electric, right? With Na'Vi and MOUZ kind of sitting back at times, making sure everything's in position before they pull the trigger. Falcons and FaZe, I think, will just start fighting, and we get an example of this early. You know, I think when Falcons look across the server at FaZe, they can respect the entertainment value that FaZe Clan bring to the table, but I don't think this is a team that they're on an individual level kind of worried about. You just know that Falcons have the pieces to dominate a game like this if Brokey can't get it off the ground early. If Jacob has a struggle of a game.
The only weird part about that is, like, it's been a while, you know?
Since this head-to-head occurred?
It's been a while. It's never been Anubis. It's like...
Yeah, there's some oddity to this best of 3.
Yeah. It's actually, quite a fun start.
I think that's why Dust got all excited when the veto started coming through. We've got not just the rare Falcons versus FaZe Clan treat, but we get a new flavor of it in this Anubis opening.
And another game. I mean, it's like I have very few doubts about Falcons' potential form at this stage of an event. Any doubts about FaZe, but you just got to see what happens.
I think the weird thing with Falcons is, like, is today going to be one of those days where they lose one of those absolutely unlosable rounds again? Will we have a mini-map screenshot today?
Screenshot.
Will we have it? I mean, they're the team
screenshot frequency increases over time.
It does, and I feel like it's, you know, it's an occurrence that was first brought to the... You know, how many times did you see, you know, infamous rounds screenshotted before this Falcons team existed? It felt like they, you know, for better or for worse, brought this meta to the table.
For sure. I mean...
Nope. Okay.
The other part is there's
funny.
no other teams contributing screenshots. It's just them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while we'll get somebody else, but it's so often, which is such a weird thing. So odd. Like, how do you stamp that out of your struggles? What is it? What causes it?
12.
Question that they're probably still trying to figure out themselves. We get the jumping MAC-10 headshot here from Kicksand, making absolute mincemeat of the FaZe Clan. Falcons so far happy with this aggressive mid-play in round 2 and 3. and a pistol rush to the A site that net them an easy first round. So for the moment, this is Falcons making a ton of cash. You're making SMG frags. Nobody's dying in the conversion from the pistol rounds. And FaZe Clan looking like they may have their work set out for them on their own map pick of Anubis.
Yeah, they do have to justify it. Bringing it in as a big surprise. The kind of scary part, I guess, for FaZe is that they're bringing it in versus Falcons. They don't know what Falcons are going to be ready for.
Right.
But 3-0 start helps out a ton. Falcons are one of the teams coming out of the offseason where everybody's calling for roster moves everywhere else. Na'Vi, MOUZ, FaZe. They're the team people were hoping didn't make one, I feel like. And if anything, you know, we heard whispers internally that they were thinking about it or tried to do it. I think most people were relieved they didn't because they knew someone was getting scapegoated for other reasons. This 5, as you can see it, have the individual skill to win a tournament. Not a shadow of a doubt. They're also not one-dimensional. They have the teamwork. They have the tactics.
Monsi really wanted this fight, and he ends up being on the receiving end of the damage. Twists gets cleared out of the murder hole, and it's Brokey to get the trade back at least. So we've got something to stand on, but within that timing, kyousuke just slips into the A site. Good presence from Jacob, and good adjustment for that second frag as well. FaZe Clan's first gun round nets them a 4 versus 2 advantage at 55 seconds. Bomb possession within this, and a separated Team Falcons as Kixan tries to get Tesses to split alongside MongolZ, but he is far removed.
Yeah, they'll keep coming forward, but it's actually going to be a full house between Jacob and Brokey.
All right.
2 players brought up, and not in the most positive light. And I think that they do have stuff to prove, obviously. I mean, the cool stat for Jacob was like his unbelievable pistol consistency.
Right.
And that does actually result in wins. I mean, the round that you're going to get 2 kills every time. The conversions are the easy part. That's up to 6 rounds every single map. That's almost half the map.
And I'd say especially for a team like FaZe Clan that sometimes struggle to get off the ground, right? Like FaZe no strangers to a slow start. Jacob trying to be the difference maker in that department.
But yeah, he's got to pick up in other areas. You can't really just have a specialist like that. Always said I'm one of the few guys that likes Jacob, and I feel like unfortunately these days I've got to say I'm one of the few guys that likes Brokey too.
What is it about Brokey that you're still high on, considering his struggles?
It's like it's still his intuition and his playstyle that appeal to me the most. It's like he gets away with being Shiro, but feeling like MongolZ on his best days. Like, he really doesn't take many opening duels, never has.
Yeah.
But if you ask someone, like, this guy's the most explosive, aggressive, right, opper in Tier 1. But it's really only in the last 15 seconds of the round. You know? You see some of the best clutches ever from a guy like him on a good day. And so I guess a little bit of nostalgia. But the sad part is he's just not even old yet. So I still believe there's... The only barriers are mental in terms of, you know, him getting back to top form. I don't really see it as being too much experience and too much time playing the game. And
sometimes Brokey just feels like he has a certain disregard for the moment. Like he's not afraid to do it in overtime when other guys...
the edges of the cards are, you know? Yeah.
Kind of want that. Twists and Co. get aggressive off of the A bomb site, and that's going to net them a 5v4 versus Nico, but you do have a close proximity to the other bomb site if you're Falcons. 2 players already down inside of E-Box, and with Bomb looking to join forces with the long player, it's a matter of time before the rotation comes round. Twist trying to throw himself through CT spawn at the moment. Kerrigan and Frozen will be challenged in the meantime, but Kerrigan's been able to find refuge in this pressure of utility. Molotov doesn't find him, the spam whittles away some of his health, but by the time Twist gets here, Kerrigan has now only fallen. 35 seconds to the clock.
Are they missing a smoke here?
Feels like it. No cross. They'll use the flashbang instead, and they'll find kills within that moment, clearing out both of the original B defenders without finding frags, getting that first rotate of Twists down empty-handed. Falcons looked like they were stalling for a second without a smoke, but they'll make up for it, Launders, with what they have in spades. Aim.
Yeah, definitely. And the flash, also. The tactic right there, just to swing at the right time. while the op was posted on the angle, that was necessary. So a very, very strong and fast start here for Falcons.
It's a 4 versus 5 victory as well for Falcons. That opening gambit towards the A site with Twist's aggressive move. You know, this is Nico dead early. But while there were players inside of that B site, nothing too like interruptive out of Kerrigan and Frozen, right? Both of them just tucked into corners.
I like that you say that, because while that was happening, it's already getting out of hand. You can't let everybody get out of E-box and like be peeking and clearing and holding things from main. It's already too far gone at that point. The site's already difficult enough to hold, but when you start taking passive lines like that, like your advantages totally evaporate. So they were not very active in that moment. I think they were lucky to kind of even stay alive as long as they did. And it did feel more like an inevitability they were going to lose without peaking. The key to CT Anubis is activity, actually, to make up for the poor sort of site positions to hold.
What's wild is we get that activity out of FaZe, right? An ambitious move, pushing long A into Nico, establishing that opening kill, weaponizing Twists nicely.
Yeah,
that's how they start the round, but then the B defense just looked far stale in comparison.
And then if you set up a stale defense like that, you can supplant it with a big flank. That's also another option. They didn't actually have one. Oh,
Honestly,
that's quick.
Yeah.
That's quick, and it is an empty baskets. There's Jacobs here with a rifle. He's just, I mean, he's bird watching right now, has no idea what's happening. Because they use no utility, it's the perfect call. They're going to hear some footsteps, however.
Nico decides to start
Like,
stomping.
wait a second, I needed my smoke for something else.
That's going to be the mid player to come down. Brokey now a part of this hold.
I think they almost couldn't believe the amount of space they got, but they're also scoring back tons of money in the reaction grenades that come out. This is almost half their utility gone, holding off an attack that's not really there.
Honestly going to leave utility for Nico.
Another smoke.
Free A long possession taken by Nico. Always that looming threat of now this whole peak. But Twist's going to keep his head tucked for the time being, and Kicksan skates by with that bomb. So
they've emptied out A, but, you know, Frozen still has utility over on this side of the map. They've just weakened a retake if that's going to be possible.
Will he use it in time? Incendiary and a frag grenade for Frozen. Down goes the flames, but Kerrigan's dead in front of that. Kyosuke fast to it. Frozen trying to bank off of this long cover, but it's temporary as that smoke starts to get peppered through. He will shave off the first one and a second. 2.5 frags here for Frozen, but unfortunately for FaZe, there's nothing else from that original defense. And so FaZe Clan have to tuck tail, go into a save, and hope that they can transition away from this, no?
Again, yeah, there's
Brokey's still floating
all
around.
the retake utility is gone. So it's the round is won sort of when they did that initial A play, which was just so perfectly timed. Like, Monesi wasn't expecting any push to take place. No one was there. Said, Props isn't home anymore. I can just come in whenever I want. And sure enough, Jacob was sitting passive. They were setting up a different sort of defense. Now, before this game gets too serious, we always have a new map, new position with the broken hole open.
Yeah.
That we can easily call window, since there isn't another one there.
Sure.
But we could also call it Kool-Aid.
You're right. We could.
So,
But will we?
Sleep on it.
Okay. Coming to you from the guys that called E-Box Ramsey. For,
Oh, yeah.
oh, no. We could. We could.
That was my very best attempt on a sell.
Got me thirsty.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, and it gets punished too, huh? Twist just comes through that smoke. Kicksan's not having a fun round. But Kyosuke's got the trade through Kool-Aid. Kerrigan off on jail. able to hold back the E-Box play. Good duel for Kerrigan there. Kerrigan kills kyousuke. That is not a sentence I get to say every day. And now with it, a 4 versus 3 for FaZe Clan. A B bomb site that's looking stacked at the moment. We'll see what Falcons' rebuttal is. They've got 45 seconds to work still all over the map. At the moment, it's Jacob operating alone on A, and they haven't really applied any pressure, but still, FaZe pull back fully. Whoa.
They will pull back to mid, so this still leaves options for coming back into this, but retaking through Temple, it's going to be the first thing that probably gets smoked. They won't even need to worry about it, really. There's just no way to stop the plant in this spot. So the retake protocols are a little too late. It's 20 seconds, right? FaZe have to expect the site hit is going to come.
They're going to drop down through window now, trying to best E-Box.
It's another spot,
they didn't.
man, where they're just
cross over the
actually
bridge.
completely out of utility.
Yeah, but they're going to go for the long play instead. Kerrigan, he gets dealt with. TSS holding the flank, and Brokey's shoulder shows to MOUZ. That is a free shot for MOUZ as Brokey inches in, thinking he had a little more room to wiggle within. And man advantage secured. Oh, FaZe try to go for this ambitious rotation back around through middle, but it's Falcons so ready to hold back that flank.
Yeah. And just the amount of time Falcons had to both plant and then post-plant with no pressure, then not a single distraction grenade could be thrown because they didn't have anything on the belt.
Right.
Yes, because they're flanking, it's the best way to make up for the fact they don't have retake utility, but they don't really have a way to draw aggro while they're walking a flank, which would have been helpful. So also a small mistake from Brokey, well, a big one if you see the impact of it, but just showing a shoulder. Frozen cool.
He's got a tweaking.
He's getting tweaky. He's tweaking right now.
(6-1) lead.
Yeah.
Is it because Anubis is still T-sided? Is it because FaZe Clan are trying to find their groove? I mean,
it's the
at
kind
least
of map,
this...
though, you can't give them any excuses because they picked it.
It.
And when you pick it first after this much time, you could be doing anything. It's actually way hard for Falcons to be like, we know how to, you know.
Yeah, Falcons, they have nothing to prepare in this head-to-head.
They should have like a million gimmicks for the CT side.
Right.
That Falcons would have no way to telegraph.
So Falcons just have to come to the table with whatever they have prepped. This is also a moment where the rest of the pack are kind of taking a look at Falcons, seeing as, like the desk mentioned, that they've kind of floated this potential having to play Anubis by permabanning Overpass. And now you get to see Falcons on Anubis, so everybody else wonders, is this the bottom of their map pool? And so far, so good for the Falcons. We've had moments where they recover out of 4 versus 5s. We've had what feels like pretty confident executes. Sure, a missed utility by Kixan, I believe, last round out mid. But they're still able to take over middle. They've been testing this mid setup multiple rounds now. And again, it just feels fluid from Falcons, right? Some of their timings have been a bit quicker than maybe you expect, and I think that usually is a sign of confidence. Falcons waiting to make contact with FaZe, but a FaZe Clan that has just leaned back in the face of the rumblings of mid-control.
The setup's all fine until the camera gets smoked. Sometimes you smoke both sides. Yeah, they will do that as well. It just brings in so much fear to the CT side. Sometimes they will want to try to explode through a smoke and make a really rash decision. Here they try to catch a lurk. They won't mind one. And again, I think that FaZe they've been hoodwinked once again. They're down to 2 HE grenades. They've got nothing to stop this.
It's a bit of half-assed utility.
Falcons' utility economy has been so much more healthy.
Yes, sir. Jacob at bat first, finds one. Frozen's nade.
Oh, okay.
Finishes the job for the second. Brokey a little awkward here with the op, but he banks off of the rifle that works alongside him, and that's the bomb dropped in front of camera. MOUZ, late to the party, trying to bait the op shot out and the mid flank. Gets both. And now Nico gets popped by Frozen. So that's a FaZe Clan that I thought as well, right? Kind of jumping their util. Brokey's incendiary out middle left a gap that could have been walked around without making audio. Like there was some small errors there, and yet everybody steps up to bat when the kills come their way.
Yeah, they definitely been overreacting per se. You want to have it like a smoke or a molly, especially for how late these rounds are getting. That's what I think FaZe are they're not ready for. But the HEs are still utility. They use that for a kill to stop them. It does both slow and do damage. They'll get the most out of it.
Ooh, but
CT rounds can be hard to come by, but how many more are available?
some earlier pressure towards this B side as Monacy's op angle is established early.
It's been doing that a lot. I like that. It's kind of interesting because he's been so correct about how little baskets controls they've been taking. They've been, in place of pushing, using utility to get map control. Jacob's in front of this. Ooh, takes a molly tag. He's probably going to be a bit nervous.
Frag pops the smoke. Monacy sees nothing, and still again, FaZe Clan's utilities coming out pretty liberally.
This is just going to kill a lot of time. You can see the intention from Falcons was just to go A. Now they know that baskets is likely occupied. Yep. They still want to go here. They aren't in a position to expand back across the map for any good small reason.
That was FaZe Clan's last smoke, thrown in a minute. Oh, Jacob goes down. That's a full kit of utility on the dirt. And Brokey about to be challenged, but Kerrigan has gone through the CT's own smoke. Monacy sits on the angle in anticipation, but his counterpart in Brokey continues to tear heads off. Nico's gonna close that gap onto Brokey, twists, emerges, and gets smoked by Nico, who goes 3 kills deep here in round number 9.
That was a little bit late. Nice round from Nico with those frags, and they win over through baskets. There was like team damage. Was that the op hitting Jacob, or was that Jacob hitting Brokey?
Sorry, didn't notice
that. Yeah, could have been consequential.
Just kind of felt jumbled up for a second. This is where the bodies lie. Falcons put the squeeze on. Man, I'm surprised Monacy's still waiting for that Kerrigan angle. I don't know if they got wind of his push earlier, if anything was spotted. We didn't see it from Monacy's POV, but...
I felt like just good awareness almost.
Right.
I mean, he definitely didn't hear anything, I want to say. But he held the bright side of the pillar perfectly, made sure that, you know, ultimately it's what else do you have to do when you're there throwing flashes for your teammates to entry other than hold a flank. Falcons will kick off with their first timeout.
Yeah, right after the round win. So really just looking to kind of hammer home what remains of this T side. 3 rounds to play out at a 7-2 lead. We've seen FaZe step up in a couple of the high pressure rounds, but more often than not, just kind of getting crashed on by the wave that is this T side. It's high utility, it's guns across the board for FaZe once more in the 10th round of play. Brokey looking for this mid angle. I mean, Kixan does have this affinity to kind of challenge the mid doors quickly, and maybe you can catch him trying to get into those positions, but great utility on the approach is going to give them information. The op rattles off a shot. kyousuke takes the incendiary to the body. So the nade's going to follow suit and find him down to 57, keeping the pressure on. Another smoke grenade comes out early here for FaZe Clan as they go 4 players strong on this B side. I mean, it is the right call. Off of the timeout.
A passive setup in B, we know what that means. Like, they still have the chance to get out of E-box. And unfortunately for Kerrigan, he's like the main line of defense, and kyousuke's still there in E-box. He doesn't really know if he's shoved him back just yet. So this can cause some bad rotations for the CT side. It's going to cause an overreaction of utility once again. They haven't actually pushed and got good spots, so they're going to keep too many guys here unless they get that info back, and they'll reflash into E-box. kyousuke is low for what it's worth, but Monacy gets 1 pick off.
Frozen still facing into E-box. Kerrigan and him.
I feel like they're not fighting hard enough for
Look
this.
at that. Triple Molotov comes through, completely forces back the positions that FaZe were hoping to bank on, and now Frozen eats a flashbang fully. Kerrigan's got a 1 and done. A 4th incendiary hits the dirt here towards this bomb site. Scorched earth on that B bomb site for Falcons. What a beautiful execute in the way that it just unravels FaZe Clan fully.
Absolutely. All those mollies, it's just aesthetic, honestly. I think also, though, there's an illusion that, you know, that FaZe have a good read and a good setup, but in reality, the setup is quite weak. As you can see, every single player is easy to isolate. They're not covering each other. Untradeable spots, easily flashed. If the mollies and smokes and flashes land in that position, it's all over. The only way they could have held that better is if they got earlier kills, if they had held on to E-Box, if they got that kyousuke frag. If they had fought and held off E-Box that entire time, then the main split couldn't really occur. And I think that, you know, coming into Anubis, they have to be ready for that, honestly. Right. And when Anubis first came into this pool, FaZe were actually one of the more innovative teams. They're the ones taking over water control from both sides. They had a lot of tactics like that. We saw Jacob set up with a smoke, which made it feel like they were going to try something like that earlier. But instead, what we've seen mostly is FaZe throwing nades from safety, waiting, but delaying the inevitable. Eventually, the attack comes in and it's full strength, even if it's really late into the round for Falcons.
Small hiccup again at the start of this round with the missed Molotov by Falcons T-side in mid. Twice now that lineup's been a little off. So be it, because right now it's posturing for B-side again, and it's Kerrigan trying to get bodies over here. Twists. This is an MP9 at this distance, and Brokey next to him with the Deagle. So you think Kerrigan's going to have to go big with the A4, but you've got 3 players now breathing down his neck. Missed op shot from m0NESY. Kerrigan knows damn well he's under pressure. Falcons quietly slip away. Ooh, Nico trying to challenge the edge of that. Does find the lineup on Jacob for half his health. But no overcommitments here from Falcons. It feels like there's this looming threat from the CT side, but nobody able to stop the Falcons in their tracks.
I mean, Falcons aren't quite in position just yet.
There we go.
Yeah, and there's, two kills from Kerrigan.
That's what you need. One of the 2 M4s on the field for FaZe, and it gets itself a double.
And you don't want the frags in here. You want the frags out there. That's the, you know, prophylaxis. It also shows you what site they're going to.
What's this bomb going to do? 20 seconds, and it sits on bridge.
There's no way it's getting back now. Has to go forward.
Going to try to make this happen. Kicksand goes for the push around.
He needs to start running, honestly.
Twist is holding this. Twist, oh, he turns at that moment. Twist has got a scramble, that's fine. They stop the bomb in its tracks, and we've got FaZe Clan winning a 3rd round in the half. Potential for m0NESY to die after time. Yes, sir. A little insult to injury here as Kerrigan's the guy to go big in a much-needed CT round win.
Puts himself in a good spot, and there was a bit of a risk for him because he knows he doesn't have any support behind him in E-Box. He's just saying, like, hopefully they try main, and he was right about it, so the complexion of attack that he was looking for came through. But it's 3 rounds on an island here for FaZe. Still not that convincing overall. They've got another full rifle to go for it. And honestly, if they get 4 on a CT side, it's not what they wanted coming into Anubis, but it is still CT side.
TSS going through earlier, trying to play with some swapped out timings. Kerrigan unable to go multi-kill to multi-kill back-to-back rounds. So now Brokey trying to get that Hail Mary off connection. Just off of the mark. Gets whittled down to 30 as Nico kills Jacob on the A main push. Something FaZe Clan have been able to get away with multiple times. But now it is still just such a heavy commitment into this B bomb site for the final round of the half. Falcons on the brink of a 9-3 T-side within their opponent's map pick. And so the flash comes through, m0NESY able to dodge them. There is this quick little play from Twist to get next to the obelisk, but kyousuke kills the first and the second. Yeah, it's a bit of a bloodbath here from Falcons as they survive the FaZe Clan Anubis challenge, at least for the first 12 rounds. Yeah. A 9-round T-side, something to be proud of.
I mean, you could really see Falcons flexing at the end there. Like, they knew how much better they are at Anubis. And to speed up in the ways that they did, whether it was towards A main. First of all, it was just some peaks that m0NESY would take. But that last round really showcased how FaZe were failing to guard the front gate. Like, they didn't put enough pressure back, and that is probably the hardest part about Anubis is balancing. How do you make sure that the early attack doesn't come in, but then also keep enough grenades for those late round situations where you've got to have one last molly for E-Box, one last kill, and a way to push or whatever. And I think FaZe kind of did everything a little bit off there, unfortunately. And they just That won't be good enough, but we'll see if they're more well prepared for T side.
Right. They also didn't get any X factor moments out of the players that they tend to bank on, right? We
Maybe
didn't get a
Jacob.
Yeah,
over in
sure.
B.
Inside that B site, right? That full house between him and Brokey, that was kind of that one round where it felt like the utility and the moves from Falcons would have been enough to just get by him, but he was able to step up. That's one round where Brokey and Jacob go big. You've got the Kerrigan M4 2K down in Canal. There's your 2 of 3 rounds. And that's all you had in this half to kind of stand on.
That's right.
So fair to say not enough. Kyousuke, star of the show for the T side, 13 kills to his name. Safe to say, pistol round could spell disaster for FaZe Clan. And we know what Falcons bring to the table on Dust2. You know, we thought maybe this veto was going to do FaZe a lot of good, seeing as they were able to slip Ancient in as a decider because of this unexpected Anubis pick. The reality is we may never even see a third. Monacy's Berettas find a desperate move there from the bridge play. Frozen pirouetting in the air is just going to fall eventually to those same 2 pistols. TSS, though, gonna give an opening back over at the A site. We see this fast scramble out from Falcons. Monacy peeling back, 2 kills to his name. Bomb sits outside of A site, but still, FaZe consider options. We've got a smoke on Brokey, but for the time being, FaZe Clan will fall silent.
Pausing in a moment like this is one of those reactions that there's just, it might be obvious that they're doing it, but there's just no better option, essentially. A CT team will always spread out to make sure they're not getting flanked. So it'll just be the quick re-aggression. Nico up top. He's likely not escaping this spot, so we'll see how he fights.
Won't be given a chance to, really, with that smoke. Jacob jumps back for long control, but they're very worried about the numbers running through.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, Twist hasn't noticed that he didn't get to back up into the corner. This is an easy, hold on, Nico. Kind of losing track of Twist, but it still feels like Twist is gonna get blindsided in a second. Oh, it's Monacy to get the kill. Nico still able to make up for it, but yeah, that one ends up looking awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously they gotta make some kind of play happen when they're down numbers in a spot like that, but best thing out of this round, unfortunately, is the bomb plant for FaZe.
Yeah. Monacy looking over at Nico like, bro, I almost died there.
Yeah.
He's able to adjust fast enough. This was Jacob catching TSS to at least open the door, but swats Twists off like a bug, and a quad kill in the pistol from Berettas. Got a force buy out through FaZe Clan thanks to the bomb plant. They'll be able to get a couple more bells and whistles, but we are on the highway to a Falcons victory within this.
Kerrigan's being called the master of vetoes because of moments like this, where he'll randomly bring it in.
Right.
Moment you're not expecting it, and then they'll pull out a very impressive win, obviously. But
and you've got to always you've got to always respect the audacity to go for it, but you said it earlier today, execution.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't feel like ideas or execution were in it right now.
Yeah, to just suddenly pull out Anubis for the very first time right here, right now, did you see, you know, just a question for those watching at home as well. It's like that did you see something that makes you feel like this is even FaZe Clan's pick?
Like, I'm sure they had some idea.
Of course,
but
of course.
But it was like almost like a Mike Tyson moment. Like, they just got shook so hard by how well Falcons were straight up that nothing that they wanted to do ever came to fruition.
Kyousuke doesn't get the kill on Jacob. Twisted Khalil's looking ready to go, and it will find the trade back as Kerrigan kills Kixan. You got yourself a bomb plant here with the force, but oh, never mind.
Oh, Connor speaks.
Yeah, Flame hits the perfect moment. Monacy now no longer smoked off, so he will take the space that comes with this. Long duel, though, catching him in the back of the obelisk. Frozen's Deagle's going to end it. No bomb plant needed. The force buy victory comes through for FaZe Clan, and is there success here on the T side. That is what we're waiting to see.
Yeah, that's where it can be. The whole thing can be kinder to you. And we've got a FaZe Clan eco in the first half, one now in the second. This one, though, try to build momentum off of. Broky's got beautiful hair, man. I can't believe he's always had it just...
Man with many
chopped
hairstyles,
off.
too.
Yeah.
We've got the buzz cut Brokey. We've got the, remember the dyed black Brokey? Mm-hmm. That's a rare treat. Nice to see. He's embraced the grays. Time comes for us all. That's what playing on FaZe Clan will do to a man.
Yeah, it's the 4 years at Waterloo. So, with the stack over on A, it's obviously just pistols, but there is half armor involved. And this will be kind of a very basic test for FaZe, right, in terms of their competency of this map. Are they going to avoid this, or are they going to run into it? Because there's not even really a push here for Falcons just yet. And there's a lot of audibles for Twist to corroborate to his team.
They dive back into the A site, though. They don't move elsewhere. This utility, it's going to keep him locked in.
Oh,
Twist
man.
with a little late burn out through middle. Now challenges Camera. And to the success of FaZe Clan, he'll find the first one. They're just going to sprint over towards the B site. Oof, TSS with a hell of a 5-7 shot. And Kixan has established long control in the middle of all this. We'll see if there's any more cost racked up versus FaZe. Oh, man, the bomb. Yeah, almost denied a second time. TSS on the scene with this M4, which has changed hands from Twists back to the CT side. And TSS with 2 kills to his name. Little to lose here if you're the Falcons, so you're going to go for it. But here is Nico smoked off in the meantime. And FaZe Clan's 5th round all but guaranteed. No kit for this retake. Bomb beyond the halfway point. It's just a matter of can Nico bring anybody down with him. And he'll miss the timing to do it unless he peeks deep into Canal.
He's got a gun there he can pick up.
That TSS M4, get out of here with that. And FaZe Clan find a 5th. Good on Twists, corroborates the information. Obviously, Kerrigan gonna find the open road with all that info. And FaZe Clan convert from the force buy to the 5-10 score.
They were definitely close to doing something they were about to regret when they were grouping up inside of baskets, but I think the better half of them took over, and they made that rotation even though it was about 30 seconds. They heard too much. They knew too much. We're not allowed to talk during tech pauses either.
Imagine.
Match.
I feel like this is where I do some of my best work. We'll be all right. Player back in the server, so matter of time before this one's back underway. And the Falcons,
There's so much to see about this next round, really. It's like
the anticipation.
all FaZe have done is basically open up a chance at a half now.
There's not enough money here for Falcons, of course. God. Still that M4 kind of jostled around, though, right? There's that one looming threat that Nico's saved gun will do something about it. But what can you really expect from him versus a fully forced up FaZe Clan? Trying to figure out where that M4 is.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Careful. Careful, Jacob. He'll drop Tesses in front of it, but Nico's M4 collects.
They kind of need to babysit. No, they don't need to babysit the gun. There's one that comes out, obviously, with Nico.
Honestly's got an upgrade to grab, and now you've got 2 rifles to threaten the flank. kyousuke eating the flashbang. Is an empty B bomb site queued up. Those 2 M4s looking valuable for a save, so already Twists maybe going on a bit of a hunt, just making sure that nobody attacks from canals. And FaZe Clan can start to make a game of this off of the T side. Again, if this was always the plan to bank on a successful T side, that's great and all, but you had a measly 3-round defense to start the map. Inability of Falcons to convert from the pistol victory has reopened the threat of a FaZe Clan T-side comeback. But they're still down by 4, and we're waiting to get Falcons on guns.
Terrorists win.
I think scary moment over there for Jacob as well. Kind of being caught by the sudden movements of Team Falcons. It's like, as the player who sometimes holds A, you've got to be very much aware of when you could get pounced. And it feels to me like Falcons are going to be one of those teams that's just always got a willingness to attack you from the A push. He'll have his hands full as this game goes on, and Falcons come in with a full-fledged buy.
kyousuke is the man to watch on this round if Split starts coming in his direction, but they're already covering their tracks in this default about what they want to try to do. And more importantly, keeping options open.
Here comes Nico for the mid play. Brokey's on the angle.
Oh! Just starts walking, and he's really suspicious that there's someone else here.
That op was covering, and his suspicion was right. Twist, though, still able to get the better of it. And that's mid-control to come with it. This is going to separate the Falcons for the moment. No quite.
It's kind of a pincer on these two because Tesses has to watch his flank inside of camera. And if they disrespected that smoke, it would have been a great opportunity to do so.
Camera smoke fades. We've got 3 Falcons players going for the mid-peak, and in that moment, Jacob and Kerrigan strike down 1. Ooh. Easy does it here for FaZe Clan, running rampant within this A site. Hands busy on the bomb cross, so be it. We've got a 4th round in a row here for FaZe, and Twists brings that back from a 4 versus 5.
A 4v5 with the op down in that spot, and Nico hunting down, suspicious of that second player's presence. So, and not narrowly skating by either. After taking that kill, Split works out perfectly. And the trades are just all FaZe. That's the first intriguing round of the second half, and we do see a good answer for FaZe. Probably their best of the map so far to keep this game close. Didn't feel like that was going to happen at the turn of the half.
Some heavy investment here. Full round loss bonus for Falcons. Op and an M4 out there on the field, and obviously seeing the shadow of the gun here. Oh!
Oh, that's a gift. I was thinking Jacob's taking that fight, but he's probably thinking, you know, mostly anti-eco here. What do I really have to be worried about?
Well, the op was the threat, and the op hits the ground. It's now found in the hands of Nico, who's going to try to position it over to the B site, where we see FaZe starting to put themselves in position to take over the bomb site. Smoke wall comes over top. Nico trying to play in front of it before it plumes. Yeah, he'll be able to find Jacob down in E-box for his efforts. It's still looks like a bomb site that's gonna get taken over. kyousuke, 5-7 smoke spam.
He's still here.
And he could try to dive Brokey, and he will. Now the bomb's down. Another player dead. kyousuke triple from the pistol. It's a man advantage momentarily here for the Falcons. Nico late to the party as he wraps back around into Temple.
They're too scared to clear him.
Huge
Frozen will
move
find
here.
him.
Huge move for Nico. This is the kind of stuff that's going to catch Frozen off guard.
He's actually starting to walk back, but he doesn't have time to get to the other site. Must plant now.
He's able to just get the angle out. Frozen's got it. All good. 1v2 for FaZe Clan, banking on a little X factor after having to shut down Falcons' newest member. 3K with the 5-7 puts FaZe on the fire, but they come out unscathed.
Bit of an old soul, isn't he? I mean, really carrying and such an artist in moments like that. Scary, scary attempt. I mean, you see Brokey miss an op shot there, and you're like, well, okay. It's still just a 5-7 to trade, and he gets a second frag, but that's what you have to get used to when you're playing against kyousuke. And if not for that shot, maybe say goodbye to this round entirely.
Nico's like 5 feet away from having a chance at that original trade, right? When Frozen gets the kill to the player back site, Nico had just missed the timing. That was a huge reposition for him to try to move that op from long back around through Temple. And I said in the first half we didn't have any X Factor from the FaZe Clan members. Well, there's a very important clutch out of Frozen. Looking to find his groove as this game goes on. Now only 2 rounds away from the Falcons' 10-round. And now all of a sudden pop out from Kerrigan. Nico's got the trade back. Looked like he could have been Kerrigan's second victim. Instead, he stands tall on 46 health. And Twists looks to yet again take up the space made through mid.
Smoke's on both sides of this, but the bomb's inside of middle, so this doesn't end in some kind of fast lurk situation. And here, still up a minute, they're in a position to wait for pushes, essentially on the extremity, watching both sides. Frozen. Looked like he almost missed that moment. Takes down Kicksan, 29 HP left over for him. This is actually where it gets even harder for Falcons. Every push more obvious, less material to work with, less map to cover with the few players remaining.
Can Nico get away with that? Oh,
what a move.
Good trade back by Brokey. Very critical that that one doesn't go down in vain. But you saw what kyousuke can offer with a 5-7. Now he's got an M4 versus Jacob, and Jacob's got a long walk towards this E-box. If at any moment kyousuke decides to go for the clear. Yeah, exactly. Jacob pinned against the wall. Now Frozen, 29 HP, working alongside Brokey. The two of them side by side, and health disadvantage matters not. TSS from the bottom of the Falcons scoreboard to the clutch attempt, and he's got Frozen's head on a spike. Now on the other side of sight, Brokey up close with this op, and a missed shot. TSS has got him. A critical late game clutch comes through. It is only Falcons' second CT round win, and it comes by way of the bottom fragger. 2 from the victory here on Anubis now are Falcons.
God, it's huge for TSS, and with the molly landing in front of the smoke, it felt like Frozen had that option totally covered. But Brokey, that's a clean shot that must be hit in that 1v1. He's even on the right side looking at him. But can't drop this one. TSS, just a raw piece. Baits out the op frag. No wide swing that Brokey was expecting. And now Falcons are fired up.
Put an end to that FaZe streak after 5. Flash finds Nico fully as this is Falcons looking to take an aggressive stance on bridge.
Yeah, Twist did see this. There haven't been any fast options in these rounds for FaZe. They've been working defaults really slowly and methodically up until now.
Clumped up outside of this A bomb site, our FaZe Clan. This is going to be a test for TSS. Able to post that clutch a round ago, but can he post a much-needed hold? He'll be bolstered by MONOZ's op over towards camera. Full volley of utility into this bomb site makes it awkward for any defenders. And so TeSeS has to offer over all of this space. We get a challenge along the side of camera, but it doesn't fully come through because of this smoke grenade. So TeSeS still works within this pocket.
And frozen late smoke up into heaven. That'll kill half the clock.
CT's already coming through with utility of their own. That's a smoke that, where does that fall? In the back of the bomb site. This doesn't feel ideal. Now they're gonna try to challenge Bricks instead. Jacob insta headshot, trade back from TeSeS. And with Twists now found out inside of the bomb site, but unable to get the follow-up, it's gonna be the long players to give Twist the cover that he needs. TeSeS having to deal with the damage, doesn't get a chance to escape, and that is FaZe Clan taking over a bomb site with conviction. Space offered by the Falcons, and a gap closing yet again.
And they're holding on to a strat like that, it feels like, the moment after they lose a round. Up until then, it was just defaults. Lots of feel-out rounds to try to build a game plan reactively against what they're seeing. And you see that even though that streak was broken, they immediately come out with something new. So the CT side, we saw almost nothing innovative, nothing that really could have us believe that FaZe were super prepared on the map. It feels like round 20 is the first moment. They had to have been dry running that. That's an exec they've never done together. And that set piece gets them into the site scot-free.
Cautious of any kind of aggression here from TeSeS. He's got a smoke in front of him, and he still goes through.
They're looking for the run back.
Yep.
They're looking for the absolute run back on this site.
I mean, it fell for free 1 round ago, and there's even less here for the Falcons to work with this time.
The only difference is TeSeS is more front-facing.
Yeesh.
If they have interruptive utility, you might be able to stand behind the
Feels
smoke
like
and
it
get
could
a spray
cost
down,
him.
but
Drops the incendiary after eating the flashbang, and this is all at 55 seconds. We're going to get this scramble from Kicksand to come back.
But what's huge is kyousuke is about to flank bridge. He's going to be able to see for sure that the CTs can rotate over.
Utility lets them know. Nico keeps it clean with the FAMAS. TeSeS has kept his head down. Flashes pop as the exec comes through. And now Twist, the only player of the 3 to get anything, and it's only that measly 1 kill. FaZe Clan tried to run it back, and this time around, Nico cuts them down. And so Kerrigan falters at the end. It takes them some time, but it's rounds back and forth as it's Falcons sitting on 12.
It's really nothing fancy. It's just the fact that they got some info back. They pushed an extremity and cleared out mid all in one breath, and that just had the extra CTs come over. FaZe didn't know it, but they could have just done this same play earlier and had a lot more success.
Great shots from Nico this round. Quad kill off the FAMAS. Didn't waste a moment, didn't give FaZe's members much of a chance to shoot back, and now FaZe are going to have to break through with the solo AK on Twist. Just when we feel like we start to see FaZe make this map feel like home, the bane of their existence will be the flat CT side they offered us in the first. The money runs out. And Falcons given a prime chance to just step over the finish line. The comeback that could have been. That's where it feels like we find ourselves.
They can really only puff up their chest so much on a round like this. Like, their utility is so sparse. It's all going to have to lean forward into as much free map control as they can get, and then a full-on exec. But if you look at the map right now, Falcons are, for some reason, actually playing retake in the B site. They could get smoked out of all their vantage points, and this bomb will go down.
No contest offered up by Falcons. frag grenade doesn't expose anybody on the cross, but Kixan does have another one. They're still gonna wait, and another frag should catch off Brokey. He's able to find the timing in between those frags. kyousuke doesn't give a damn about the timing, swings into it, and Kerrigan's gonna punish for it. Falcons right now still hanging on to Temple. Kerrigan gives over an advantage as suddenly the numbers get evened out. Brokey's looking for his Deagle headshot, but he's about to peek into 3 players. m0NESY trying to queue up the retake with those flashes while the long smoke remains in the face of Frozen. He can't do anything. And now from behind that pillar, Frozen, the only player to do anything in this post plant. Falcons find it in the end. Win 3 of the last 4 rounds. It takes them some time, but they'll break through what was feeling like a FaZe Clan comeback. Instead, Anubis blows up in their faces.
Look how happy kyousuke is. I love that. The little smile on his face, getting up, celebrating that victory. Such a one-sided first half. Did either of you ever get concerned for Falcon?
Kerrigan at the end of that interview saying sometimes he just wants to have a little fun, and I'm sure that comeback was feeling fun, Launders, until reality sinks in. You're now down a map versus a Team Falcons that's got a real affinity for this upcoming Dust2, and a FaZe Clan that was banking on Kerrigan being the highest rated player and the player with the most round swing in that previous map. He's having fun, but I think he'd be having more fun if his teammates were playing a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think individually he played well the first half. I mean, I don't know if the calling wasn't great or the prep wasn't great, but I would put that on the side of the leadership, not so much the individuals. It was a first go at Anubis where Falcons actually played extremely well. So that was a tough scoreline to come back from. They put up some good rounds towards the end. Maybe they're looking more forward now to Dust2. Not to say that we're expecting Falcons to just topple over for some reason.
This is a Falcons that's had an affinity for Dust2 in Krakow. It's a FaZe Clan that actually have a couple of pretty bad blowout losses versus team of this caliber, right? Vitality, Spirit, both smash the hell out of FaZe on this map. You think you could put Falcons in the same boat, but we'll see what today has in store. As the pistol gets underway towards Catwalk, it's a m0NESY and kyousuke 5v3 setup. Nico's going to make it look a little easier. Long-range tap from the P250 as he gives cover, and that bomb's able to cross uncontested. Frozen and Jacob put to bat. And 2v4, not looking too comfortable.
Yeah, Dust2 is not the map where, like, you don't have Twist popping off, you don't have Brokey going positive, you don't have... You know, Frozen had 1 clutch last game. If you don't have that on Dust2,
right,
like your Falcons are going to destroy you. So that has to change for sure. It can't be Kerrigan carrying Dust2, as much as that would be like a pretty romantic story to tell, pretty funny as well. It won't happen, shouldn't, can't, won't.
Kerrigan also said in that interview, you know, he'd love to go 3-1 in the groups.
Yeah.
He'd be 1-1 after this one.
Yeah,
Kerrigan's
3-1.
Kerrigan's hopes are still...
You can't go 3-1 by going 3-0.
No.
Yeah, so...
You got to lose at some point. Losing to the Falcons, well, no shame in that at the moment. Just a matchup, like we've said in the past, though, that just doesn't happen very often. It's been a long time coming.
But they've been struggling with vibes, right? This is what I hear from the last vlog.
Falcons are
talking about it. FaZe.
FaZe been struggling with vibes.
Struggling with vibes.
Well,
so.
you shouldn't have kicked Eddie.
Yeah.
This is
you kicked a major champion and you expect to be having fun.
Eddie-less FaZe. Tough shoes to fill, no matter who steps up to the plate.
Maybe FaZe was like, I don't like that, or Eddie was like, I'm not feeling the vibes right now. I'm out of here.
Guys, I'm gone. Ooh. Chance for m0NESY's scout to find a victim. Brokey working with one of his own. Battle of the scouts queued up. And all the while, Falcons close that distance. An additional smoke onto the cross. Brokey missed opportunity. Tough shot to land, but doesn't even find himself with damage. And it's the MP7 that reigns supreme. for the kickoff inside of this A site. Bomb still yet to cross, so things feel a little squirrely. While Frozen comes through with the Nico frag. This could have them taking a look at the retake maybe, or I feel like you've kind of got to let this one go and use what you've saved into the next round. Yeah, you're otherwise stuck on pistols in the follow-up, so FaZe will save 4, and we've got Falcons to the 2-0 start. You know, Mohan, there's maybe bigger issues in Counter-Strike, but for the guys who play left-hand view model, like Kerrigan, for example, it's not fair that his stickers are always backwards.
I agree with that.
You see this?
For sure,
There's got to be a way to just flip those.
I mean, it is Valve that allowed us graciously to finally be able to play left-hand again with no way to fix that.
Somebody just die in pit? What happened there? Somebody died in the pit at the end, Launders. I'm in the server. I just saw a second Falcons player die for some reason.
From the bomb?
I mean, I'm thinking that's got to be the only thing.
For what, like 8 damage? How far?
Keeping an eye on the
Honestly,
HLTV
they can afford it right now,
Something
man. It feels like
there.
Falcons are just going to like walk through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They feel like they have kills to play with. They've got that aura right now. They have the plot armor. They have the players. And let's be frank, they've got the tenure. They have the talent. Like there is no reason to doubt them at this stage of a tournament. Like as much as it would be fun to be like this matchup should be even, could be even. Probably fun for Kerrigan to think about playing against Nico again. In terms of confidence, like Falcons, I think they know they're going to win this game until otherwise.
Sure.
You know, until they completely blow up for no reason, or FaZe have multiple pop-off players in one game, which can happen all the time. They can play up to any level, so we know that. But
they got to do it.
We just didn't see it on Anubis, so now it just feels like it's not going to happen at all.
And it was kyousuke to die to the bomb, for the record.
Oh, okay.
Oops. Somebody from FaZe has to step it up in contrast to the last map, or Falcons will just confidently stomp you out of this best of 3 and move into that 2-0 pool. Looking to impress us in the same fashion that MOUZ did earlier today. Off the flash, Twist looks to take a glimpse at what could be multiple players on site, in which he will find out is indeed. He'll find one, but that's it. Brokey's 5-7 bested, bomb to be planted uncontested, and that was while Nico was able to catch a back turned by hiding in the cubbies of top middle. So unfortunately, FaZe nothing to stand on here in this one either. Their saved rifles didn't net them much. And Falcons find the 3-0 kickoff.
So who do you think's winning the tournament? What's your tier list?
Wow.
Most likely.
Huge question. I mean, Vitality, absolutely favorites.
Number 1.
Can't stop that. I think, call me,
was that laugh?
Call me delusional, Launders,
okay,
but
MOUZ are gonna...
reigning, defending, back-to-back Cluj-Napoca champions.
I'm smelling a breakthrough for
time
someone.
is now. Because they know if there's anywhere in the world that they can win a tournament,
that
it's
they
here in
have
Cluj-Napoca.
Yes.
And I think also, I mean, I'm just maybe one of these delusional guys that still just thinks eventually it's going to happen. You've watched all these other contenders kind of step it up, you know, like Navi lifted a trophy last year at the first Star Ladder event.
Falcons won
Falcons
Bucharest.
got theirs. FURIA started stringing events together, and I just don't see a world where MOUZ can't get one. And this could be it. But I also said they were going to win the major, so what do I know?
They're loving their own gameplay right now. Xershin just tweeted, "We just played a beautiful game."
And
yes,
they did. They played
and they did.
wonderfully
Yeah,
today.
that was palpable. Like we tried to be like, oh, you know, Navi could be playing better, but had to say it. MOUZ actually didn't really give him a lot of room to answer back. That was awesome.
You know,
I
Spirit's
only
not.
ask because I feel like the answer is actually not obvious. Besides Vitality,
Spirit's not here. MOUZ can beat a Vitality on a good day. Will it be in an important game? That's always the big question.
Brokey. Okay, that's not good. That's just not good.
Tries to go for the long-range spray down. Twist's able to best that duel, so kill goes back at least here for FaZe Clan. We don't want to talk about them like they're dead already, but we're going to need some X Factor, and maybe Twist is the guy to step it up this round. Can he do more from 48 health?
No, Nate's 48 health could, if they wanted to land a molly near him,
There we go.
It wouldn't even matter. Kerrigan's down.
That's that walkout long A.
Yeah.
now
Twist is in a
Twist's going to
very
have to
tough spot.
operate pretty much on his own. He's got 2 players scrambling around through spawn yet again. This is the Kerrigan gift of a smoke grenade offered over to Twist earlier.
True.
We've got Frozen tagged down to 18 health. Jacob just kind of floating out into the no man's land. Will collect 1 frag. Monacy's 5-7 to the headshot. Talk about confident. And all the time, Kixan is just tucked into Gandalf, ready for that one. 4 rounds straight with majority alive each and every time.
Why does he even have a 5-7?
5-7. Isn't that what the kids say? What is that? Is that not what they're talking
5-7,
about?
Yeah. Do you believe in kissing before Mirage?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the equivalent of your joke.
Okay, sorry.
If you want to use Counter-Strike terms for it.
FaZe back to the pistols, barring the Frozen Jacob M4s, but these M4s in Frozen and Jacob's hands have been kind of set up inside of the B bomb site more often than not, and they really haven't seen much action. Just keep scrambling over to an A site in acts of desperation. SS full blind, doesn't even pull the trigger, doesn't let him know.
Feels like we've got the mid B brewing. Like you want to do it at a moment where a team's a little bit vulnerable on utility.
Brokey bouncing on it. Just trying to get any sort of a glimpse, any kind of early warning. He is still hopping. I'll leave a bruise. But just as he stops jumping for it, hoping to get tucked into the cover instead as Desert Eagle goes down with nothing. And it's going to have to be Twist's Deeg now instead. Oh my goodness. Popped in half a second at the hands of kyousuke. Looked like it was Kixan's kill. Kixan can't even get that kill, even though his crosshairs on the guy's head and he was shooting, but kyousuke is that much quicker to it.
Yeah.
And so we go 5-0 Falcons over FaZe.
It's like a series of nightmarish practice rounds where they put the bots on like super hardcore difficulty and like they can't miss. Just a clean exec. And it's like no, you know, when FaZe are entertaining, even if they don't win, it's when it's like mid and late rounds. When rounds get close and it's when creativity comes out. That's where I think, honestly, that's where I think teams win the most fans. When you get creative moments in clutch situations, like essentially, if you won every round off of set plays and just dominated, I think you wouldn't even be likable, honestly.
Right. Yeah, no.
I think that's the least interesting thing to watch in Counter-Strike. For me, it's definitely the creativity. But here, they can't even. You have to earn it, right? If a team is going to be able to get set plays off versus you and win, then
they're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
All
That's the easiest way to
100%.
win. You're in your safety zone up on Cat. No one's pushed you back or got a kill. You're going to throw all your best grenades that you dry run before, and then you're going to win.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, you don't get to write your thesis until you've completed the textbooks. And right now, FaZe just don't have that backbone to stand on. Not in Dust2 anyways. Not so far these 5 rounds. So how are they ever going to throw in Flare? Brokey was able to spot people when he was going with the Desert Eagle jumps last round, so why not put the op on the boost, try to play the same angle. Problem is Falcons aren't coming at all.
Look at the setup right now with a boost and then a long player past a minute who has no plans of pushing, and this is a true 5v2. Like, there's not anyone close to mid. The rotations are going to be very slow here, and they're also worried about a mid-B split, so it's not really souped up in this defense in case it is going to be a B-side hit.
Jacob spam is also off the mark, does a bit of damage. Frozen from his corner is able to catch it. They're standing the test a little bit. Kixan's low HP, and so Frozen finds a second. kyousuke comes through with a wild preemptive shot, and it still nets them a chance at the plant. They don't take that chance immediately. Twists outside of the window. He's got Brokey to work with by his side, and a long move here from Kerrigan, still into the depths of T-spawn, but he will eventually get here. A little bit delayed on the bomb plant. kyousuke's going to try to press himself up against the window. And right now, there's no nades here for the Falcons. They're going to be banking on the shots. And kyousuke takes his chance. MongolZ to be blindsided, and that 2v5, which was indeed, like you said, a pure 5v2 advantage for the Falcons going into that bomb site, but it's frozen with a multi-frag, and it's at least one kill from Jacob. A bit of assist on the others, and you get Falcons faltering in the face of a FaZe Clan 2-player hold.
You get 3 on a hold. You're successful every time because you've got more teammates to retake than they have to defend. Okay. When Jacob used his full mag, I was a little bit worried for them for sure because he didn't get the kill off of that. He had to jump to the back of the site. But yeah, frozen multi there from Carr, and FaZe, they look alive here. Wasn't a huge fan of the setup before the attack came in, but damn. Before they even have time to celebrate, MongolZ will pick off Frozen, just trying to get to the B site.
Kerrigan feeling the need to get active. kyousuke has been shooting so sharp. He'll be caught off by the angle at least, so.
Just a pre-aiming as he was about to swing out, so it's a nice moment. Kerrigan, but it is 1 kill for 1. It's still a really good position for Falcons right now. It does push FaZe into a spot where they've got to mentally decide if they're going to try to stack. And they do, and they kind of picked the right stack here.
Right. Jacob sits in anticipation and will win the duel to Kicksam, not to mention further damage done on Nico. Jacob's been able to hold them back a bit. Now it's going to be him again trying this with Brokey's support over the shoulder, who now goes in for the window play, but twists from Carr to make the difference. And lo and behold, we've got another B hold for Falcons. MongolZ into the clutch. Brokey standing out on the silver platter, and Twist's known to be towards that car. His flash trajectory is going to let MongolZ know that he is still on the left side of this doorway.
There's
still
definitely time to go for this. Twist is thinking about early peak. He's not ready to leave the tunnels, and it'll come in
nice.
now.
Very well done. Twist takes the duel on his accord and is going to win this. Again, another round for FaZe. We're going back to back. We say sometimes FaZe have slow starts, and a 5-0 beginning here for Falcons looked like they were going to run through this game. But now Jacob is being a driving force in some of these B holds.
And it's 4v5. Well, yeah, he got his 1 kill the last round. It's here's a moment where it looks like it was kind of crazy how quickly FaZe had already stacked B in the spot where they were going to it, but it's really on Falcons to control the tempo of this round. Right. They get the early 5v4. They pick whether or not they want to go B. They just decided to do it soon and without gathering info, I should say. They had done like half an exec off of Cat in a default and then saw no response whatsoever. Then maybe they would have slowly trickled back. But they didn't want to do their due diligence this time around. So this opens the door for FaZe, a momentum round, one where they can build an economy. They got a full buy, all the utility they need, and they put a touch of pressure back to Falcons. So a map down and a 5-0 start, and then FaZe start to look alive. That sounds about right.
MongolZ's been great on this, and he doesn't pull the trigger for the first 2.
He doesn't have to worry about the op as well.
Shows a little mercy. And, well, that's what he was worried about, but it comes at him from the catwalk instead. Brokey operating out there on his own. No longer those passive ace holds, but getting a little frisky, and it nets them a 5v4 advantage.
This setup is looking a lot more formidable, and well, Brokey won't get that chance. Molly goes down in the door, but they've seen him lean left now, and unfortunately, FaZe would have loved this to be a mid-B attempt because someone's got to get back over to help out the A site. They know they're now avoiding the op for sure.
Walking it into no resistance.
Flank at the top of mid. Will we get a pickoff? Yeah, Kerrigan does grab that.
And even if he didn't, there were so many bodies starting to climb up Xbox. Tessas misses the op shot for the recovery kill. Eats the flash. Now you've got Brokey already beyond the angle. Oh, but the recovery here towards cat control looks good. They're not letting their guard down about a potential third player.
What?
And at no moment has Frozen come through just yet. Tessa S isn't able to react. Frozen takes his time. We get that double up from the long retake instead out of FaZe Clan, who have now successfully strung together 3 rounds.
That was some sloppy joes, but I don't think FaZe are worried about that. That was more like Falcons, like, damn, we had a couple of opportunities to get even more. Yes, 3 rounds in a row. That's just looking a lot better. Who got that first kill this round?
First kill was Brokey off of the cat.
Oh yeah,
peak top
taking out
middle.
MONOZ right out of suicide.
Falcons just keep on buying, but now down to the MAC 10s this time. I was worried FaZe didn't have any fight in them on Dust2, but slow start, that's all. Twists met by an early double smoke, drops his own. B bomb site here for Falcons.
Yeah. Brokey had his, one op shot last round, but on a proper site defense, between last map and this map, we're sort of yet to see him deliver.
Yep.
If this is a moment where Falcons are going to take this, whether it's to him on CAD or over to mid B, he can get involved, absolutely. But it's Kerrigan pushing off of Cat, him holding long, interestingly enough.
Kerrigan's got the better rifle, in contrast to the Kicksan approach that was close to that smoke grenade, but now at 25 seconds, Falcons will be making this move to the B bomb site. This is where FaZe have successfully put more bodies, but it's going to be Twists caught fully blind, and Frozen's window peek, yes sir, gets 2. All while, Jacob kept his head tucked at 10 seconds. Bomb has been dropped. MONOZ's going to find late success down in CT spawn, but no way that Jacob makes the mistake of putting his face on that silver platter, so it's going to be FaZe to take a 4th, even though, again, it was Falcons 5v4.
Yeah, well, they didn't have, their guns weren't quite as good. They got worried about the fact that, well, it was actually Twist to get worried about the fact that they had, leaned towards B a little bit too much, especially with their material advantage. Wanted to try to expand back into mid. Nearly got caught off guard because of it, but they were just not ready for a third guy. I don't think they were even reading nameplates at that point, but Jacob was there waiting the whole time. Are we missing audio on reactions? Is that what we're missing?
Sometimes.
It feels a little bit quiet today.
But not all the time. Would you like me to yell?
Yeah, can you do a Jacob for me?
Yes. No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Kerrigan's easy.
Very true. Creepy crawly cat approach yet again for Falcons. They've started to get away from what was at the beginning of this game, just this consistency towards the A site. Maybe now, as FaZe have found success, we'll get back to it, because this is 4 rounds in a row for FaZe. Although 2 of them do come down to 1vx situations. It's rounds on the board that matter, and FaZe Clan have them. feels like being far less interruptive this round again. We've just got FaZe kind of leaning back, hoping that this Goose ramp setup will work well. Kerrigan still long control and no contest coming his way. Falcons looking adamant that Catwalk will be where they find their openings.
To be honest, that could be fine. You don't need to get the kill off of Cat, but you do
there's the
have to
drop.
hold here, Brokey.
He spotted it. He saw that fall down. He will hit his shot to kyousuke, but the kickstand follow-up is going to put twists into the question. Kerrigan offers up a headshot and a follow-up on his own. Nice double kill here from Kerrigan. MONOZ's got now 3 more players to deal with. He's got the bomb on his back, and he knows that they are just going to flood into him once he goes for the plant. So he'll fake it once to see what happens. Ooh, Kerrigan doesn't fully bite. Oh, there's the second. There's the second of 4. Jacob's going to start sprinting in. MONOZ's got a real chance at the pop back up, but Jacob doesn't waste his bullets, hits him between the eyes, and we have a tied game at 5.
Now, this is now a full-on comeback here for FaZe Clan, and I'm going to say, like, their passive nature back on Anubis wasn't really justifiable due to the map. Like, they needed to have way more prophylaxis, get out there, go for first kills. On Dust2, your CT advantages, you don't really have to do that. Like, you can go for your, cat op, mid op, or whatever it is, upper B tunnel push. Sprinkling those in there is always nice, but if they have the right setup in a 3-2 or the 2-1-2 lean that's just perfect for the play that's coming, that could be totally serviceable. We see how many advantages someone like Brokey has in that spot, or you have from Goose holding off of A. Even any player at long has a really big advantage on that first fight. Oh
Nice
my
shots,
goodness,
dude.
unless you're going up against kyousuke.
kyousuke is just firing off magnets, finding the helmets of FaZe
drawback.
Clan. And now 4v3. Oh, you think you're going to make the difference, huh? You watch 2 players fall to it, and Kerrigan's got him on the health advantage. kyousuke rips heads off. 15 and 7 off this triple kill.
It's back-to-back top frags for kyousuke, and that one was art. That one was just art.
God, it
That
must be
shot
nice
and then
to be that good.
One shot in the fall back into the smoke for the second spray. It's just no chance to duel.
Oh, rope-a-dope. Oh, well, kickstands. See, it's nice to see the contrast between reaction times. kyousuke's got insta-kills. Kickstand forgets to shoot.
This round is live. It's going to be a retake, it looks like. They might be worried about crossing for a second, so buys them some time.
Round 11.
Brokey's going for a rifle to actually give this a chance,
All right.
or does he just have the op? No, he's got the op.
Op in hand, and money's weird, though. That's the thing. Right now, it's a FaZe Clan that could use a little boon in round 12. So Twist is going to take the front of this. Brokey doesn't actually have the flash. You would have thought maybe he takes it from Twist to set him up, but
yeah.
Twist actually hangs on to the flashbang himself, and now bomb is past the halfway point. We've got a kid on Brokey. Brokey will have to put hands on that bomb. Incendiary to clear out Car, but nobody's home, and so in goes the flash at a critical moment in this retake. Brokey is the guy that needs to get on this bomb. Has to be, and he's not even in the bomb site, so they'll just clear out the Falcons instead, catch the 2 kills. Bomb will kill Twists in the end, and we have to wonder, was it worth it? Because the money here for FaZe is still going to be weird.
Yes, but the money for Falcons actually is not that great.
Also true, sub $4,000 on majority.
Yeah, I think that was actually just worth the frags. So close to the attempt. Could have just tried that same thing, but a little sooner. But I think door was smoked as well, which slowed down their molly play. That Falcons get back into the lead off of that round. Off of kyousuke, I should say.
Yeah, what a
An
sequence.
amazing moment there. Yeah, it really just shows off why he got signed. And I actually think his development has been really quick because he started off, they just used him to be the star player, gave him everything, so much responsibility, but was just getting lots of kills, but the rest of his team was suffering, and you got MONOZ and Nico. It doesn't really make sense. Into now where he doesn't carry every game, but he's still as able to show his personality and skill level in a much more healthy capacity. I feel like just the maturation has been so quick with him.
I don't know this lineup, do you?
I think that's, is that Brokey's hair?
Luckily, still enough tools for the job. They'll get that double smoke put in place. Ooh, and the nade doesn't go deep enough. Kicksam could have damn well been a dead man to that Brokey op, but no smoke break, no angle, no confirmation even that Falcons are this number strong, setting up in mid. Brokey now a part of the B defense as it's a double up over towards long A. That's the difference in this setup for FaZe to try to finish off the half with a tied score. Falcons going to be tapping back into the cap presence, so Twists will indeed have his hands full. Remember, Jacob, Desert Eagle in hand, right? This is that big limitation. Even Kerrigan's going to be retaking from long with an MP7. Twist has got to do something, and he gets popped. Kerrigan will be able to stave off the long play for the time being, and his now AK-47 means it should be Jacob to grab the MP7. But instead, Jacob's still just back leaning into the pit, only working with that sidearm. And final round of the half, so this retake is called on. Brokey and Frozen with the better weapons here onto the Cat retake, where majority of the Falcons still sit up close in front of that flashbang. Easy does it. Brokey pinned into the corner, isn't able to get that second shot off. Now Jacob's got the M4 retake truly underway, as the positioning on the bomb site's gonna leave Jacob in the clutch. It's a clean headshot to kyousuke, but unfortunately for him, it is without a kit. And so without the time, this is gonna be a MONOZ clutch for the road. A 7-5 Falcons T-side after the FaZe Clan rebuttal. They needed this catwalk portion of the retake to come through.
Yeah, so a nice clean exec here for Falcons when they didn't really have that much money, but ultimately comes down to the fact that this setup is supporting Twist a ton on the ramp, and he doesn't come up with a kill. He's there ready to take his peek, fall back for a bit, but instead gets killed on the first attempt, doesn't come out with a frag, and they hold on to long control for a retake. But it doesn't matter what you're retaking versus, there's just so much more variance when the bomb is down and the T's are just able to group up and explode on something. You just don't want to have to get into that. So as good as the comeback was, it's still a good half here for Falcons. It would have been a sour moment to have given up the lead and lost like the last round of the half, but that didn't happen. So we've still got a convivial team here.
It's also a 5-round streak that comes together with a 1vx clutch sprinkled in from Twists, and then also that moment where they kind of burned down to the time win victory. Clock expires and Jacob's the last guy up, so that's what allowed for FaZe Clan to string it together so that it wasn't just another 3-round CT side. That was the problem back on Anubis, right? Just one-off rounds over and over. This time there's actually a little streak to it, and FaZe Clan better off for it. We know Falcons, no slouches on this map, and they'll bank on a CT half to close. Still, FaZe. They can smell the lead. 2 rounds behind. As we come through into the pistol, it's an immediate Xbox smoke here for FaZe Clan. They still hold on to another one with Frozen. 3 flashbangs as well to try to make things uncomfortable, but the CTs peel away after taking a quick look towards mid. Now kyousuke's got the angle once more. Flash is going to find him, committing to that duel. It's going to scare him a little bit. Have him just peel away back into the B site, and by now stacking a 3rd player inside of the B site because of that flash, FaZe have done a good job of establishing a numbers advantage on A if they follow through. MONOZ versus 5 on Cat. Oh, gets the clean headshot onto Kerrigan. Won't be able to double down. Good on Jacob to get the answer quickly. But we do get that B-site scramble now, trying to puncture through into the CT spawn. A difficult job set up by that second smoke grenade that FaZe were able to hang on to. Now they've got themselves the post plant. No defuse kit for the Falcons. Berettas try to get the job going, and it's only Tesses in the middle of this 3 versus 4 attempt to walk away with a frag. So FaZe Clan's idea of catwalk into A seems to have worked out wonderfully. Nico 2 and 8 when this pistol began, finds 1 kill for his efforts, but that's it. It's Twist and Jacob to put it on ice, and FaZe cut the lead down to 1.
I really love the move there from Jacob to not only get the refrag on MONOZ where he got his first kill so quickly, but getting down into CT to protect them mid B smoke, just in case they push through it right then. And the fact that you can just reboost yourself up Cat, I feel like that was nice. Slowed things down, got the kill, got out. And that's just more pistol brilliance out of Jacob, which again, that's what he's basically the most known for at this point.
Double scout for Falcons, curiously. And a 4-player ace start in the middle of that. Kixan lets the scout be known.
I say you go up against Falcons on an anti-eco, don't take much time. Don't let them get chip damage off. The chances with the Deagles, I mean, that is the most regretful way to play around, I think, versus this team. They could steal an eco versus anybody.
Kerrigan's going to try to chase down that pistol, but he better be careful because he's working alone. Second scout starts shooting, but will they figure out that there's 2 out here on the field?
I mean, in this setup with that many players on, like 2 CTs on long, but not having the guns, I don't know if FaZe need to be that scared. Nico dies on the push.
There we go. That'll help. Twist starts chewing through it. MONaC busy with the grenades, so he's going to get pushed by the MP7 of Twists. And now kyousuke has been figured out on the ramp. All's good here for the FaZe Clan follow-through. Pistol round converted. And with that, the lead is gone. Falcons to a 7-7 game. This was a 5-0 start for Falcons. We felt like they were just going to smash their way through this map pick. And instead, game on.
Yeah, FaZe have just kind of quietly worked their way back into it. And just like the MOUZ Navi game, you know, if Navi had earned themselves a chance to play Dust2, and FaZe have earned themselves a chance to play Ancient, then it really could just turn everything on its head. The question was, in that match, would they get there? They didn't. FaZe as the underdog in this one, they might actually have a chance. You know, they're kind of ball fragging. We're not having a great series out of Brokey, that's one thing. But over on the other side, Nico's really struggling as well.
Speak of the devil. Slammed by Twists as he tries to put that 5-7 into tunnels. At least he didn't see it coming. As FaZe once more have their way with the climb up into the cat control. Nothing Falcons can really do about this one. Trying to put these 5-7s in position. About all they can hope for. Poised for another cat commitment. Now utility trickles in, and at least Falcons do have a threat here. We'll see if they can rack up a cost. We'll see if they can steal away a gun. But it feels like the shooting is sharp out of the FaZe Clan camp. Not one casualty here for FaZe to have to handle as they have officially established a lead.
A lead.
A lead.
A lead.
It's only one round, but it is indeed the lead. And it's one that has allowed for them to also build up an economy. Check the cash here, $5,000 at least for 4.
You could get a new PC with that money.
True. Or a 5090.
Or just a video card.
A stick of RAM. 2 M4s on the cat hold. Ooh. Daunting when there's been so much action for the climb up. I think that's why this commitment does come out of Falcons. But instead, it's going to be FaZe to just take this quick look over towards the B site. Kixan calling for reinforcements. Does have MONaC in the window. And because you've got cat held, MONaC has no worry about middle. It is belonging to the Falcons right now, but they do still need something in the hold. And so MONaC's first op shot connecting is perfect for Kixan, who still sits in this corner. Easy for Falcons.
Such a plump smoke, and they all tried to exec out of it, but when the first guy died and there wasn't 2 more popping up from the left and the right and jumping up on the double stack at the same time, that's when you knew it was over. You could see how many Falcons players were so close to already getting in B at that point. They knew it was calm, so this first kill was everything. So very, very clean shot for MONaC. Now we're unchecked at Hummer. They're lurking around a little bit. It's just too slow.
Faster knows Brokey goes in and catches a glimpse of a player bottom mid. MONaC happy to sign up to that duel, and he'll win it. That's why Brokey gets away with the fadeaway shot. MONGolZ then takes up the angle. Twist is going to be under pressure here as the fight comes at them, but that's going to cost Falcons too. Jacob with the back-to-back headshots.
Wow, from behind as well. Looked like Twist's kill.
SS trying to get something back, and it's Kerrigan's op. Yes, sir, retrieve. This was a 5v4 for the Falcons thanks to MONGolZ, but he just watches his entire team go up in flames. So cue it back up. FaZe Clan reestablishing a lead, and this is an awkward one because we've got 2 rounds of loss for the Falcons side. They'll be able to purchase after this loss.
But you're saying they must save.
I'm saying it'll help. It'll certainly help. Hello, Jacob. And cue up the replay, because, yeah, you're right. It felt like Twist got the point-blank headshot, but it's actually Jacob in the backdrop with both.
What was funny about it was, like, Twist was right on him, right?
Yeah.
But
so
Jacob was faster.
Yep, just a quick... We kind of had that with, like, the entry up catwalk, where Kixan had this crosshair on the Twist's head on ramp, but somehow kyousuke gets the kill. But just a couple of...
Younger,
younger,
you know?
faster, smarter, stronger... More Polish.
Yeah. Extremely Polish. Polished.
Let's take a look at it as the Falcons 1 round 1 off.
Must have been the gamer sleeve.
This is very loose. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's not... Those things get loose, though. It's really annoying,
Nico's
actually.
got those tight arm sleeves, but...
Yeah. His look like leggings.
Arm skirts. Oh. He's sitting in the flames. Has to give up his angle. FaZe Clan, again, able to rebuy off of the last round. Because of the saves, they get some extra nades, and Nico still sits on some money. Fast into the cap play, man. FaZe have not been afraid to just take over mid with a bit of gusto.
I like that they're not overthinking the map control. Oh,
nice trade.
Trade out of Twist.
Yes, sir. Catches the headshot on MONGolZ as he tried to fall down. Nico, gotta be cautious here. He's gonna give himself a smoke to work with because the support's already inbound, right? The double up on long will catch FaZe off guard as they try to extend in through elbow. It's all in for FaZe Clan right here, right now. And as Twist's hands were busy with the potential plant, Brokey comes through with a critical kill on kyousuke.
They have this guarded when the bomb... Oh, it's actually on Twist. So he would love to go forward and try to take this fight.
They'll have to double back as Brokey's pistol is out. Nico climbing up the boxes, Kixan by his side.
Does he try?
Ooh, Brokey takes the deep peek. We don't get to see it
spotted.
from his POV, but he will land that second shot instead.
Why would Nico jump up again? He just saw Brokey shoot at him.
Thinking he could maybe catch him while the op was on cycle. Oh, Twist comes through, catching Kixan on the climb up, and those boxes become coffins for the Falcons. FaZe Clan 10-8 off a critical Twist trade, right? That headshot onto MONGolZ, that's actually 3 deaths on those boxes in this round.
Yeah, they thought they could trick him each and every time, but never was it a regret. And it's Twist again, star of the show, really. With the frags and then the refrags here, test us out at long. The fake plan in the end.
Nice shot for Brokey.
I need to hear player reactions because they're definitely getting hyped now.
Twist just getting a glimpse of it as Kixan tries to climb over. FaZe Clan, 5 rounds on this T side. 5 of 6 played.
This one just to stay alive in the series. If you missed it, Falcons picked up a quick first map, but the thought that FaZe were even going to take a lead in this game seems just unreal at that point.
I mean, suddenly there's only one bad half that's come through from FaZe, and that was the first half of Anubis, their 3-round CT side. Ever since then, they have very much been in this game, and we've got Ancient up next as well, where I think FaZe will be content to get to if they are able to finish this off. But
Yeah,
a 2-round lead,
yeah,
that's all this is.
Still some work to do, absolutely.
But at least now we're getting,
Falcons
you know, we're getting strong individual play. This is something that they didn't even have back on Anubis. They were banking on Kerrigan to try to be the X factor.
Oh, on average, they're really outclassing Falcons right now. You don't really have Nico at all. You don't have Kixan. You got half a TSS right now. It's really, kyousuke has brought so many rounds in this game for Falcons. And Brokey would take him out.
2 rounds back-to-back now. Brokey's able to pluck off kyousuke. Nico's blind as a bat, eats that flash twice, and gets barrel stuffed by Jacob, who's been a part of this comeback. He's been a part of now this takeover, even. TSS letting them know that he's close, so you think Kerrigan's gonna... Yeah, exactly. You can't be doing that. Kerrigan's gonna disrespect the smoke and come through. 2 versus 5 is what's demanded of the Falcons. FaZe Clan have an 11th round win queued up right here, right now, 5v2. And the bomb's gonna find an open route to the plant as well. FaZe right now feel like they can do no wrong.
Seriously, and they're just opening up. Yeah, that's what they do. Well, that's when it gets a little bit more entertaining for sure. That's one shot missed. MongolZ will pirouette out of that situation, but he's got no real reason to leave from long. It's going to be his best chance of actually saving this gun. Kicks in from above, flash gets eaten, trade comes in, and now it's him alone. MongolZ, high chance that the attempt on the hunt comes. They don't want to have to deal with this op next round. But they have to give themselves the ability to trade. And now they're coming for it. He's a dead man.
Done for. FaZe Clan an 11-8 lead. A T-side that has shown no signs of slowing down either. And I mean that quite literally, right? So rapid into the Xbox control from round 1. And they have just followed through over and over. Nothing Falcons can really do about it. We've seen Falcons try to throw bodies in the cat extension. Didn't work. We've seen them try to duel on the other side of doors. Hasn't held them back. So an incredibly lopsided scoreboard for the Falcons could end up costing them this map and a chance to 2-0 the series. And now they've got nothing really to work with here in round 20. FaZe Clan's 12th round feels like a guarantee. Desert Eagles up along the wall though. Nico from the bottom of the board. His 5th kill in this map is one that puts Jacob on ice. And all while FaZe Clan take control of long, they will start to sniff out this A site. And Falcons peeling away from that original setup still have the majority of their defense here.
I'd say having that frag is nice, but also, a second frag is even nicer. And that'll be Nico's 6th. They've got now Cat control on the menu as they have to pull guard over on Cat, reinforce long, try to make this a standard take. They're crawling up.
Trying to just stay tucked into the bomb site.
Do we just have a big Nico moment brewing is the question.
Twist has been able to cross. An additional T-side smoke comes down. Nico's dead.
Oh, 2 quick trades.
Nicely done. FaZe able to reestablish the 3v3 instead, and they force MongolZ's hand with the fire. He goes swinging through. kyousuke gets a deagle kill, but that's all he's going to find. It's frozen to end this. It's that 12th round we guaranteed. 4 map points to push this series into Ancients.
Not looking sloppy on these anti-E force buys. I'm really just watching and wait. I feel like Falcons are in the kind of form right now where they could pick one of these up, but they haven't so far. This was obviously their best chance to do so. 5v3 off those deagle shots. But they couldn't get their hands on those guns. 12 rounds for FaZe.
Here we go.
One more good call, and this one's done.
And this call is looking like an early B-site test. Kixan looking to drop that smoke in front of it. You've already got MongolZ down in the lower tunnels, but that smoke doesn't pop in time, and so you've already got them on the exit. He went for the frag instead, and the damage seems worth it. Stuffed on the approach into that B bomb site. Brokey 1v5 kills MongolZ at the least. And funnily enough, the 2 rounds FaZe have now lost on this attack are total stoppages inside of the B bomb site.
B with the fast plays. They wanted to make the set play work. It is kyousuke there alone, but you can see how calm he was. He actually just held on to his angle. I don't think they had doors smoked when they were exiting tunnels, left a frag open for free.
Oh, they just kind of jumped it.
They tried to use flashes, I think, to get maybe get the kill with the attack at the same time and then have the smoke drop after. I'm not sure, but I didn't even see it land, really. So, Brokey, is he really coming here to terrorize them inside of the B site? 1-on-3.
From the 1v5. You know, but this is what we said, right? With Brokey, it's almost like it's when he doesn't give a damn. The pressure, the moment doesn't get to him.
Yeah, he's letting the hair flow. 25 seconds, though. Surely he can't 1v5.
He's got nothing to lose, so why not? Tries to fluster somebody out from behind the car. It's not going to happen. There's 3. Yeah. Gives him something to think about at least, but again, it's a total stoppage in the B site. kyousuke almost felt like he was going to get caught with the wrong utility, but he drops his frag grenade. The kyousuke rotation comes over. He catches kills in the middle of all that, and Falcons are given another chance at life here on Dust2. The first of 4 map points denied thanks to Falcons' hold.
And they really made that. They wanted to get that 1 extra kill to keep the money low.
Works. You've got kyousuke on an auto shot.
Yeah. And
no
Brokey
stranger
still
to
got
weird
his off, and
guns.
they've got extra dollars, so it makes perfect sense.
Brokey taking a look towards long corner. You've got a player up front. MongolZ stepping into it. Dangerous game to play versus Brokey with the off-on cycle, but it is enough to flush Brokey back onto the other side of his doors.
It's those chances that have really kept Brokey's scoreline down. He's got some shots in this game, but some of these moments could be big chances. Yes, FaZe are in the lead, but they're still going up against Falcons. I've seen kyousuke get a highlight with this gun.
I've seen kyousuke get highlights with Negevs.
Yeah.
Bit of a freak, this guy. That's kind of what you need in these moments, especially now with kyousuke picked, right? That position's been used by kyousuke multiple times. So
in the mid-B smoke,
right?
That's oppressive. The CTs are going to be like, what do we do now?
kyousuke can't hold the middle half of this bomb site with that gun. I mean, he can
If he
only
gets a
hold
highlight
tunnels.
now.
The only thing he could hope for is that they came out tunnels first, but he knows with the positioning, he's done for. Oh my god, or not!
No way!
He's still able to make the most of it thanks to the MongolZ damage. That does make the difference. Player out mid is Twists. He's got a lot to have to hold back here. Nico offers up the distraction, and they have been able to get out through now the CT spawn. I can't believe kyousuke makes something happen with that shotgun, but it had to be MongolZ to set him up. And now, you've got an advantage over the 2 players in this post play. 60 health combined here for FaZe Clan. Utility to just keep on dumping, to burn this critical amounts of time off the clock. But all 3 Falcons players working with their kits. Brokey's position cleared. MongolZ is going to leave a mark on this round. Sets up kyousuke, who without that auto shotty double gets surely no more chances in this game, but a double-digit scoreline secured now by the Falcons.
The juxtaposition of my emotions watching this auto shotgun, one of the most unserious weapons in the game, but knowing that kyousuke's here fighting for his life, knowing that if he does not get a clip, they will lose this entire map. And then he puts it up from a spot where he gets seen from the door and everyone is miles away from him. He still delivers 2 on the noob tube.
From 7 and 16, he pulls that one off. And what's scary here for FaZe is that you're starting to get like the small rumblings of the bottom of Falcon's scoreboard coming together, right? Nico with that Desert Eagle attempt that almost came through. kyousuke now pulls off a double kill with the shotgun. I mean, it's very little that we're asking of these 2 players at the moment, but it is just enough to prop up somebody like MongolZ, who had his hands all over that round. MongolZ and kyousuke have been the reliable pieces for Falcons, and you are only 2 rounds from overtime. And look at the buy that FaZe are left with. That was a much-needed moment offered up by kyousuke with a ridiculous gun that genuinely gives Falcons a chance to push this game beyond regulation.
That's a nice economic stimmy to get those 2 kills as well, because money is teetering. It's down to $50. MongolZ opens up on Brokey through the smoke. Maybe he had blown that open, caught him at top mid. It wouldn't have been the first time he's taken out Brokey in that spot.
It's a scout for Frozen to play with now instead. Twists has been a beacon of hope here for FaZe Clan, a driving force in their success, 21 and 12, and he's got the Galil, but now it's Nico with a chance to also hold players back. Huge advantage over Kerrigan, who Frozen can't save in time. Kerrigan was hoping Nico wouldn't go that wide, but sure enough, 5v2 for the Falcons. And suddenly we kind of forget that they have given up what was once a 5-0 lead. Round 24 up next. Full buy for FaZe Clan, sure. But this one, no chance as TSS tests the back line. And they're going to falter with nothing here for FaZe Clan. All 5 members up for Falcons. They'll have everything they need to push this into overtime.
And again, Kixan. His 2 kills really have given them hope in this game. With the minimum of overtime secured, I mean, obviously, FaZe will be happy about that, but here we are. One more good play. One more pickoff on Brokey for MONASY. One more solid hold over on the B site, where they've had 2 defenses now in these last few rounds.
Oh, man. Brokey goes for the early angles.
They're just looking for any excuse to make it over here.
No challenge offered by the Falcons. They went 4 players strong in case the long play was coming in off of spawn timing. FaZe Clan didn't have it, so they didn't go for it. That's given Falcons the time to just lean back. MONASY's angle is, though, denied by Kerrigan's utility and just showing a little presence up catwalk. Oh, there we go.
Uh-oh, that's the B defender. Back on K-Sharp. Kixan goes down.
The most convincing round wins that Falcons have had on the CT side were based on total stoppages in the B site. MONASY, though, is given an angle off catwalk. They almost pounce on him. We go down to 45 seconds with this 5v4 still in FaZe Clan's hands.
Yeah,
a climb up and over. This is MONASY still, again, willing to test the waters, and he has missed his chance to strike one off of the back of the cat play. 35 seconds, we get FaZe Clan clumping up towards middle. Kerrigan wants to try to take this challenge out mid. MONASY hits the shot, and he's still alive, thriving in the CT spawn. And Jacob's gonna push the limits of this as suddenly FaZe start to scramble back in and around through the tunnels. But this is kyousuke, highest performing players for the Falcons, still inside of this B site, ready to go, and bested by Frozen. Done for as Jacob comes through with the double kill close, and FaZe Clan come back in another game after the 5-0 start. Falcons just can't flourish.
I really hope you watch the segment leading up to this map so you understand the question I'm about to ask Maui. Do you think Regardie could have done what we just saw Brokey do, Maui?
No shot. No shot. Brokey.
Where, oh where did the Falcons go? Nico had a hell of a struggle back on Dust2 Mohan, and it's going to be a team looking to tap back into what we know is real potential here for an ancient map versus some plucky dogs over on FaZe Clan. Kerrigan no longer having to top frag his way to victory as he tried to on Anubis. The stars of FaZe Clan coming together for that second map of the series, and now here we sit, ready to go into Ancient, a portion of the map pool that our desk said FaZe Clan would be happy to take a swing at.
Well, I mean, 3 dominant victories in a row. Not versus the best competition in the world by any means, but passing every test so far are FaZe. And for Ancient, obviously, Falcons right now, they're on 0-3 in their last 3 games, G2 being one of the losses, but there's energy and bait as well between Krakow and Budapest. So in terms of confidence, it feels like it's a bit of a one-way street, but Falcons impressed us on Anubis, despite us not knowing exactly how well they play there. Being able to forecast this veto would have probably been very difficult for Falcons, so there's a chance they might come in a little underprepared.
MONASY sits and waits. And he gets himself the easy headshot. Frozen down for the count, and clearly a main control here for the Falcons. FaZe are going to have to try to figure out how the hell they get back into it. And maybe that's just by circumventing the threat and going 3 players out middle. Ooh, nice shot, SS.
So clean.
Damn. That's Kerrigan with his head popped at a distance.
setting up the A-Rap smoke, obviously. Only half the wrap going on. 3 players running in. TeSeS knows he has the advantage to try to push out if he wants to.
Beretta's leaning back, damage is done here, and it's only Brokey so far to get anything going for the FaZe Clan favor. And they know where he's at, hiding inside of the temple, soon to be found out. Bomb over toward the CT lane, so this is a tough one for Brokey, but he'll get a chance to peel a player off, and kyousuke's got something to say about it. It is a Falcons pistol round win, thanks to this man. 3 kills in the pistol for m0NESY.
Yeah, very good start. And we're going to, basically watch and see what this game gives us, because this series has been full of surprises already. But one thing's clear, FaZe are now playing well. And since they got that lead, they kind of managed to keep it all the way through. Got to 12 nice and early back on Dust2. I'm sure we're optimistic about the end of this series. Oh, no bomb plant, no action on this round, really.
Ooh, not wrong about that one, Nico. Crosshair was dead on, but kyousuke here for the farm as the Berettas get himself a quad kill versus the very ill-equipped FaZe Clan. That round done in seconds.
Ancient rounds will come at you quickly. The CTs get very scary with money on this map, especially when it comes to trying to dominate or reclaim mid-control. One thing we saw from MOUZ were like the flash timings on basically every map. It's like map agnostic. They could throw in a flash timing versus a rush, and it was so perfect. There's going to be similar scenes here on Ancient if they can catch Falcons trying to push into elbow control. If they don't, they'll lose a very important part of the map. Falcons deciding not to participate. This is a full lead. They've completely pulled the goalie on the A site. Most times this ends up being a free plant. Nico would be pretty passive here.
Good call out by FaZe Clan. They almost get blindsided by Nico's kind of peek.
Wait,
wow,
what?
That was not corroborated. The fact that Nico was on the left side, Kerrigan completely caught off by it. So Frozen's looking to pick up that slack.
Yeah, he said, my bad.
And Jacob catching m0NESY while it is Twists to hold off for the lurk. So well done by FaZe Clan playing into the timing. And this is one of those moments where it's like, as you said, kind of Falcons just not participating in any A defense ends up costing them a very easy round for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, there are these moments where, I mean, since Nico got that first kill, that is one of the situations where you can go play retake on A, come in for the retake with that first frag, and you actually have a good chance on A. Both sites, in fact, can be quite retakeable, but you're not going to play that far back on the other side of the map normally. Normally overstacking here towards cave, or maybe playing CT lane with mid.
Terrorists win.
Just a very good read on what exactly Falcons are going to do out of spawn this round, out of FaZe Clan, and they take advantage of all this free space.
Just by nature, the fact that there's no Falcons really over there, we think, okay, but how about in the head-to-heads when defenders are in position? It's a great sign for FaZe to find timing like that. But it wasn't much of a fight. Bomb outside of the B bomb site as Twists and Kerrigan take up position in lane. We get TeSeS dropping his smoke ahead of the cave, which is just going to keep them tucked into this for now.
This walk-up is looking very potent, especially because the CTs are just tucked. It's the 3 main angles to clear here. Kicks in. Ooh,
just missed
spotted. Oh, maybe not.
Blindsides Kerrigan. Oh, said he just missed it, but rather comes back at it even better. And TeSeS re-emerging out of the cave is going to find that 3rd casualty for FaZe Clan inside B. Smoked off with no bomb possession. Ouch. FaZe Clan just a matter of millimeters and milliseconds with that one.
Yeah, and it's really early into the round. Obviously, it feels almost unwinnable right now, but they want to kind of poke a little bit.
Careful, TeSeS. That's no gun in hand. But he jiggles it perfectly, and Jacob can't hit the headshot because the headshot wasn't really shown. T-utility to still test the waters, but it's fine. Falcons, 2 players within the site. Maybe a wall bang can kind of open this up in a Hail Mary moment from Jacob. But he eats utility on an attempt to get that rolling. And right now, Falcons doing a good job of just keeping themselves off of those angles. Ooh, Jacob actually inviting some damage back the other way. Better be careful that he doesn't die. FaZe could use this money in the next one. He will be afforded an exit plan. Falcons back to winning ways off of a Kicksan and Tesses B-site hold.
Yeah, that was a pretty dangerous way to hold, but they had the timings locked down. They were nervous just in time to make sure to catch that walk-in. And so the crossfire's in place just as they need it. I was a bit worried for Kicksan that his shoulder got seen just as he was dipping back into cover, but that wasn't the case. So we go directly into another buy. MongolZ will have the only op.
Missed opportunity here for MongolZ in an opening kill, but he will still linger long enough to catch Kerrigan on the crossover out middle, and just like that, Tesses collects a kill over towards the cave smoke, through the smoke, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, speaking of
Through
which.
the smoke, yeah.
kyousuke does the exact same thing, and all of a sudden FaZe Clan, hoping that they would have legs once they were able to get out mid. It's one thing to lose Kerrigan at the base of mid, but if you could take space with it, then there's still a chance to rebuttal. Unfortunately, here for FaZe, nothing to stand on. A 2v5 that lies ahead of them, and Nico, very cautious setups, I feel like, from Falcons, right? These clean jiggles, these little minute decisions, making sure that no openings can be found by FaZe.
Yeah, and the way that they're starting back a little bit has worked out for the most part. There's the one round where A-site was open, but in general, they're kind of entering the fight exactly when FaZe want to get a little farther, and all these clip-offs, all these clotheslines here are just so extremely easy. And this push
Well timed.
will work well.
kyousuke does it again, will still be dropped after his 2, but Frozen's doomed as Nico takes up the position, and Nico off to a much better start than what this all began with.
Yeah, back on Dust2. Wasn't so much fun for him.
Timed perfection there, kyousuke. The donut re-aggression as well. Now pistols back in hand for FaZe. We're gonna have to see some Desert Eagle antics out of Frozen and Kerrigan.
It's early on, but they're already setting up Falcons for a crushing half with the amount of money they're making.
Oddly though, it's just like, it's what I felt in the 5-0 start on Dust2 as well. Obviously, like you said, CT side of Ancient, whole other beast.
Yeah.
And that money's stacking. If they can get through this one unscathed, which by the looks of it is where they're getting off to. Single casualty so far, so be it. And, well, Brokey has the bomb in a Hail Mary attempt to run that into the bomb plant.
That was funny.
Such a Brokey moment. Tries to get that plant, not going to happen. Buy for FaZe back on the table as the cash is stacked up by the Falcons in a 5-1 lead in what has felt like a 5-minute half so far.
Yeah, super quick, which is kind of fun. It's a nice contrast to Inferno, for example. That can be kind of a slog, but if you're FaZe, you're not so happy about this. And here's all that utility, such aggressive utility coming out of the CT side.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're really getting away with this sort of drawn back defense inside of middle. They're taking all these fights from safety. They're getting lots of chip damage in without risking anybody. FaZe desperately looking for any kind of clue as to where to go next. Feels like MongolZ's hot right now.
Still, Falcons decide to take a fight on their terms. Double ramp push with cover in the backdrop, and Frozen can't hold it back at all.
Man, don't even need MOUZ in this
Right?
spot.
That was
Right
just
players do
there
the job.
as an insurance policy, and it's all but a guarantee. Falcons trying to make it happen into the cave, though, do offer something back. At least a chance to reopen the round for FaZe, but yikes. Stepping into the op scope of MongolZ, he gets his, and it's 4 alive for Falcons again, this time versus guns.
Game plan's just looking so solid. All of their riflers, oppers are online. Everything that FaZe are trying to do, it feels like Falcons are just so ready for the pace.
There's only 4 kills versus Falcons in the last 4 rounds of play. 4 survivors every single time.
Yeah. All in one round, eh?
Cash getting stacked.
Counter-terrorists win.
MongolZ's about to have an HLTV stats page tweet
8-1.
after he saw that CobraZera performance.
Still can't believe CobraZera is not a Brazilian player. Feel something wrong about that. He should have to change his name.
ColdZera inspired a generation.
Yes.
What can you say? Worldwide.
That's true.
That's where it came from.
That's true. How cool is that, actually?
Very, yeah.
That a guy playing video games from Brazil has somehow inspired a teenager in Mongolia. Only Counter-Strike. Quite literally a world apart. Which is almost as far as the gap between Falcons and FaZe Clan right now here on Ancient.
Brazil is 5 rounds away from Mongolia. Not with how fast these went.
Yeah, so quick. Feels like it's about to be 7-1. Speaking of Brazil. Just pistols for FaZe in this one. About time we take a timeout, because honestly, you got to figure out a solution here. This is a 6-6 half at best, and to turn it around that convincingly would be a calamity as far as Falcons are concerned. They've got all the money in the world. They've got all the momentum in the world.
Yeah,
They've got multiple individuals now kind of finding their zone.
It's going to be 3 buy rounds in a row to get through, and you start off with these Tech 9s to try to put a dent in that. But their prerogative here just has to be to at least get a few kills on top of bomb plans.
MongolZ on his own right now inside of this A site. I mean, it's kind of a perfect storm for FaZe. Tech 9s to push into an op. If MongolZ drops this opportunity to cut down early numbers,
You should still be able to escape and hold Temple.
he'll stand within it. He sees him coming. Nico's going to drop that frag, and MongolZ not smoked off, so happy to just try to take his chance. You'll find the second shot at least, and Nico shapes one. A second one through the smoke. All of a sudden, Nico ready to dive bomb this bomb site. He'll trade out MongolZ, opt to be saved, and another moment where Falcons keep 4 up strong.
Yeah, they're getting totally smoked.
They have so much money, they're not even saving ops. They'd rather save AKs.
Yeah, that's the ultimate sign of opulence.
Another round where only 1 death on the Falcons side. That is now 5 rounds in a row that 4 players have survived for Falcons consecutively.
They're living off interest at this point.
Not 1 player on FaZe has more than 2 kills 8 rounds into this half. Fight for Nico down into mid, and Frozen's going to turn this one upside down. Ooh, Frozen gets a second kill.
Oh, that's not bad.
MongolZ brings it back into a 2v3. At least Kicksan was in the right position. The positionings looked right here for Falcons, but ultimately, it's still going to be FaZe Clan
This
to
actually-
puncture through.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, blindsided by it. FaZe Clan will find that second round, and all of a sudden, it feels like FaZe Clan can shoot straighter.
What's interesting about it is it's the one time that Falcons actually try to
Extend.
beat their aggression and extend.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know, it looked like, oh, maybe they're a little too passive when FaZe walked into A that one round. But every other round outside of that game plan worked out beautifully. So as soon as they try to expand a little bit, do a little bit more, that's when FaZe make them pay. So you can really see how this is a lot of good game planning for Falcons overall that have gotten them to this point. Wonder if they try that again.
Putting Brokey into an early angle.
And when the money's that high, you do want to experiment a bit. Why not, right? Kicks out just beneath the crosshair. Oh,
Gets away with it. Twist kind of two minds. Frazzled by that flashbang.
right. He recognized that. Like he had like half a second to get that kill, and then he'd have to switch to another target. But Kickstand was very, very clever about that.
Super elusive. Have been Falcons in a lot of these moments, like you've been alluding to, just kind of that ability to lean back and force FaZe into them on their terms. We get the one contrasting round that FaZe pick up because Falcons fight early, and Falcons right back.
It's so frustrating when a team like starves you out, lures you into being aggressive, and then makes you pay for it when you feel like one kill is all you need. Oh, that's such a big find.
Gross.
So well done here for Nico.
Clips off Brokey, 5v3 from that one, and you've, of course, already got players inside of the A site. Flashbang's good at least. kyousuke drawn back into the donut hall, but within that, m0NESY offers cover. Kerrigan's fake plant gets kyousuke to bat, and you've got a low health Frozen dealt with. 8-2 half, and yet another round that Falcons win still with 4 players alive.
And they're coming in like low options with low utility and trying everything, but just failing outright. Getting completely outclassed. And this game isn't getting any slower. It is the T side, so FaZe will burn another timeout to figure out how they can honestly just try to make ends meet. I don't even... What kind of buy do they have this round?
FaZe Clan? AKs. Mac 10 on 1.
Max loss bonus.
Counter-terrorists win.
Not even forcing defuses here.
Trying to keep that pressure on, but Tess happy, just so content to step into the challenge. There was fire at his feet, fire at his fingertips with the back-to-back headshots. Another moment where FaZe Clan have been absolutely washed away in the opening moments of the round.
Totally lasered, and they've tried this play before. They've got the perimeter covered. Everything's being watched. They just need shots to get missed. Or great shots to get hit, and there's one at least from Frozen, but that looks like it. Brokey 1-on-4 at 1:10. And he's shown some tenacity in this moment. He knows that now the A site's open, he can go for a plant.
Still a bit of a delay before Kicksand comes in from the flank, especially if he's going to go A main. Brokey decides to try to take things on his own terms, and the kills are clean. It's more frags in this one than most. For the first time that Falcons win a round, they have less than 4 players alive, but a 9-2 half still secured with the retake, and it's dire straits for FaZe.
Safe to say the better team's in the lead. This has just been lights out. Tessus was a laser right here. Second kill, just as fast as the first.
FaZe Clan currently sitting on 1 opening duel, successful in this entire half. That Brokey moment just now was the 4th multi-kill round of all of FaZe's players this entire half. It's a bleak picture, folks.
Let's explain the money.
Falcons gunning for double digits on the CT side, and Kickstand going to be happy to just take a look down into lane, which he will find clear for the taking. Stuck outside of the doors of B site are 3 members of FaZe. With that utility coming over top, we're going to have Falcons just drop a smoke at the top of ramp. Kixan, yeah, he's got him by surprise. Smoke pops ramp, and you can see one of those players trying to clear, but the first one steps out, things get awkward, and Kixan thrives within the moment. Another 4v2 queued up here for the Falcons' favor.
And this was meant to be a fake over towards B, but they see the B players first. Bomb as well has to get spotted when Frozen goes for the trade.
Frozen's given space to walk this bomb up close at least. TeSS leaning back in these lanes. Oh, but the timing could still work out for TeSS as Frozen's starting to get into the cover of the site. He's going to want to go for this plant soon. There we go. Confirmation on the CT that is indeed nearby. Now he's got to go for this bomb plant as the double Molotov goes deep.
He knows he's playing for info, so Brokey's watching Cave, but secretly hoping there's nothing to worry about there.
He goes setting it up. Brokey peeks into the duel and loses instantly. Now Frozen versus 4. He'll find one, but the trade frag's so effective. Falcons are so effective throughout this half. It is 10 rounds to the 2 of FaZe Clan. We know that the T side of Ancient can be stifling, but that was world class out of Falcons from the get-go.
After the fight we got out of FaZe on Dust2, this one is going to be an absolute mood buster. This has been outstanding for Falcons, and it just feels like there's absolutely no chance on any level here for FaZe to put this one together. Falcons have hardly celebrated after their round wins. They've been so clean and so quick.
If anything, just kind of laughing their way through this, what was supposed to be challenge from FaZe. We were talking about how risking Anubis as a map pick was going to open the door for them to have success on Ancient, but this goes to show you that if Falcons had prepared for Ancient, right, if that is the pick that they had anticipated, clearly in this head-to-head, locked in.
And it might have been that first half failure on Anubis, like you mentioned at the end of the last map. FaZe have only played really one bad half,
yes.
But if that half was good and they picked up their map pick on Anubis, this could have been a chance for a 2-0, and instead it's like the total opposite mood now, that they have to play out Ancient, and they have to see that, well, their expectations for this map are probably greatly different.
Clear evidence as to why FaZe probably wanted to get away from this map, but unfortunately for them, we still end the series on it, and it's going to really leave a sour note for the FaZe Clan expectations. Getting blown out of the water like this. Falcons with a pistol round at hand that could end the day. On the brink of the 2-0 pool here in Cluj.
Oh, he's timed it. Oh, but Brokey no peek right there.
Molotov at the site. Brokey limited, but that's fine. Oh, shaves Monacy off the attempt. Brokey 2 kills in, finds himself a third, and finally Kixan's going to put an end to his fun. Bomb picked back up by Nico, of course. Fast flank into the cave, and one as well towards ramp. Kerrigan, slow play around that smoke. Hasn't found this just yet, but will execute Nico. Kixan's pistol clutch demanded of him, and we've got FaZe with a little runway, as they'll at the very least pick up a CT-sided pistol.
Yeah, it'll be a bit before they can, really start smiling again, I feel like, but this is the only way we get any kind of game at this point. So FaZe will pick up a third. They'll start CT side, and we'll see if Falcons are going to falter at all. But feels like at best we're going to get shades of Anubis.
Nice moment for Brokey to try to rack up frags. Kerrigan with the slow burn around the smoke, not letting this reposition ever happen.
That was the plan. In a game like this, second round's not guaranteed.
Of course not.
Group up, lean towards B. Take up back of the site here with a FAMAS. Cave Smoke's being defended by an MP7. And in the back line, another FAMAS for Twist. They already feel, you know, very calcified into their spots. Really restricted positioning where they've left mid wide open. So Twist has to turn his back constantly. Oh, a Tech 9 kill.
Yep. Stuffed by the sidearm. Kixan happy to just start running it in, but jumps the gun, and Jacob able to hold back with the FAMAS. Now Twist's chance, but he'll be popped. m0NESY in with the clear. And what's left of this B defense is deterred by the flames, by the smoke, by the Falcons' presence on the bomb site. TeSeS gets away with the bomb plant. His hands no longer busy, means a 4v3 here for the Falcons.
It's got to be frozen.
Long range fight, he'll win that one. m0NESY put to bed. And now Jacob starts to press in on the short side. Galil's gonna chew through one. TeSeS hits the Deagle headshot, and it's such little HP. But you can't be affording that. That frag grenade could have killed either TeSeS or Nico with ease.
That's the kind of game it is right now.
That
it's just a comedy of errors.
Yeah, indeed it. And only one team's laughing. 11-3, Falcons secure it off of a Tech 9 cave entry. Bada boom.
Terrorists win.
11-3 in what feels like 20 minutes, and even with the pistol, no conversion in the second half.
Said earlier today with the MOUZ victory that they had secured themselves back in the top 3 of the world. Funnily enough, Falcons gonna munch on some VRS if they can defeat this FaZe Clan. And back to 3 they'll go. So a day where those two rosters very much fighting for that spot. Two teams that were here. And with the smoke at the top of ramp, they're still gonna just barrel through it. Falcons are not afraid of FaZe in any margin. And as Kerrigan tries to spam that Deagle around through the smoke, it's going to be the bomb passed over. It's a little awkward for the Falcons, but that's fine. They've got a lot of bodies here. And Kerrigan is put down. A little damage through with the wall bang as well. That's frozen on the only M4, softened up further. Twists 5-7 strikes with the element of surprise. Twists 5-7 with the triple kill. kyousuke to take this back. 17 health, all he works with, as Frozen's going to get that M4 into the action. And right now, there's only a kit on Frozen. Can m0NESY get the wall bang? Yes, he can. Kit will be picked back up. The ramp player comes in and dies. This is a 1 HP clutch for m0NESY. Brokey's got the defuse, though, manages it. And we've got a little life left on FaZe, thanks to Twist's 5-7.
Yeah, that's incredible from Twist, and a nice attempt from m0NESY. Just not enough time. Like, luckily they have a kit in this spot where money's already tight, but they get that one together. Surely Falcons aren't worried about buying in this spot. Especially not with FaZe's money so incredibly low after that 1v1.
MP9 got nerfed. Feels like the 5-7 time's coming. You think this is the year?
Yeah, I hope so. Every year, yeah.
It's the year they turn it down a notch.
Even with that clip, you know, that's only Twit's 7th kill here. There is a fragging problem over on FaZe. At least right now.
Sort of been that way since Anubis. Ooh, Twist comes through, though, trying to make up for lost time.
Never too late, says Twists.
Quick peel back as we still have majority Falcons outside of middle. Smoke from the get-go. But if Kerrigan dies, things get weird, so him smoking off the double doors keeps Nico out of this engagement. We hit the minute mark, and Falcons start to take a sniff at mid. trying to remain on the move. Even with the 5v4 advantage, FaZe trying not to shell up too much to allow Falcons to get any close proximity to a site. And Brokey is going to go beyond. Doesn't look like he's going to find timing, though. Already inside of the cave. It does free up the rotate. Falcons, they're going to be stepping into a FaZe Clan that's ready on B.
Yeah, they've got the value out of this. They just need the kills now.
But the kills don't come for free. Kerrigan's deep ramp push, however, is an upgrade to the one tap. And now the M4 gets blasted. MongolZ 180 onto Twist, who thought he'd get away with just jumping into it. And we go back to the 2v2.
Felt like a layup for a second.
Brokey suddenly to test this ramp where Kerrigan has already faltered. MongolZ creeps wide into it. Short challenge soon to come. 43 health here for TeSeS. He gets his first one and the second. And so MongolZ whipping around onto Twists denies a FaZe Clan that tries to jump the gun.
And that is pure class and a huge contrast for TeSeS coming out of that map one. This series in general, really lighting it up. And that is a beautiful shot from Kerrigan. But right after, they thought they could just snowball into the site. And I thought so too, but MongolZ, perfect pivot. He's 21-8. TeSeS is 16-7. They're powerhouses.
MongolZ stats at the end of this series. Oh, it's not even the series, but this map in particular comes into the third map with a 1.16 rating across the first two. 32 and 24 was the score. And FaZe starting to fall apart. 3-round CT side on Anubis that could have maybe, as you said, won their map pick, a world where this could have been the 2-0, but we extend play to Ancient, and Falcons put a massive gap between them and the challengers of FaZe. Get a 5-7 trying to press in, Frozen done for.
Yeah, you've got Twist on this gun again, but can Lightning strike twice?
And an empty A site primed for the taking. Twist and Kerrigan want to test the waters at the front of the cave.
Desperately.
Brokey tries to spam through on the smoke, and MongolZ brings up the tail end of this 4-player mid-walkout. Utility over the top of the B bomb site. Brokey's going to add himself to a B site play.
Yeah, that's super solid. They're just going to be able to walk into A. This is just beautiful from Falcons now.
Catch the blind side in middle. Nico's got the frag towards Kerrigan, and this has just been an embarrassing way to ultimately end a series that it felt like FaZe had brought fight to the table. And fight on Anubis, fight on Dust2 they did. Unfortunately, Ancient is just a whole other story. And the Falcons set themselves apart. Rock solid stuff from MongolZ here to truly put FaZe in the bin. A team that said they still want to just progress into the playoffs with maybe a 3-1 scoreline. That's what Kerrigan would hunt for, and it's what they can still do. But Falcons will be considered challengers here in Cluj-Napoca. They move forward, much like MOUZ, re-securing world's number 3 in the VRS rankings off of the back of a total blowout.
Dust2 very quickly forgotten when you take a look at how Falcons just performed on that map.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a regression to the mean, I guess you could say, on that one. Falcons kind of showing you what they're capable of when they're on form, and everyone